Do it live. All right. We are back on a Sunday live stream. I got an itchy nose. But we're back on a Sunday live stream. So, main account. Main account. I'm so excited to be back on my main account. It's been a minute since I've really been pushing this account. So, we've got our new Clan Boss speed tune. We worked on that yesterday. You may have seen yesterday's video. We've got our new speed tune, and it's working. Let's see, right here. 76.79 million here on Magic Affinity today. And then on Nightmare, it pulled down 85 million on Force Affinity. Somebody in the comments of the last video mentioned that they are trying it on Spirit Affinity and it's not working. Now, Spirit Affinity was the one affinity it was working on before. So we'll have to check it out next time Spirit Affinity Boss comes around. I will throw it back into the calculator and actually take a look at it and see if there's a problem with Spirit Affinity because I changed the speed of one champion. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it's not working on Spirit Affinity, and I think we'll have to take a look and check. It may be that my version is working fine and the viewer's version is not working for some other reason. Or it may be that the 3-speed change I did to Feign is enough to throw it off. Because it did work on Spirit Affinity originally. That was the one affinity it was working on. So let's go ahead and throw our key into Brutal right now. And yeah, I like the speed tune. I like having Feign and Dark Hail have purpose again. Like they're not this didn't get 50 turns, it only got 43 turns. But more than enough for Brutal. That's interesting. I wonder if I have to take that 3 speed away from Feign again. All right, let me get my window set up so I can see chat. Say hello to some folk. I know it moves the screen all around when I do this. Like, what is going on? There we go. That looks good. Alex, Burso, Juris, or Eurus? Hello, hello. Son is not with us just yet. He's having lunch, but he should join us at some point, hopefully. I hope you're all doing well. We've still got 16 hours left on the gear removal event. So I did, in fact, fuse Lady Mikage. I will be fusing Lady Mikage. What can I say? I'm a leg man. Okay, so we've got her. Now we got to figure out what to do with her. All right, we got to figure out what to do with her. I don't know what to do with her. I really don't. So I have thoughts. I have thoughts about 4 different places to use her. I could use her in Clan Boss. I just literally created a Clan Boss speed tune. But I could use her in Clan Boss. There's some cool Clan Boss options, I think, with her. I could use her in Fire Knight hard mode. I could use her in Arena and Live Arena. And I could use her in Hydra. I mean, her base speed is 115, right? She's fast. She's fast. So potentially I could make her very, very fast. You can see she's mostly booked. She's got some books here. I don't know about the other form. Did I book the other form? I did not. Now here's the thing. I do have the book. I think I have the book. I have 8 mythical tomes. So I could book her, but I was waiting for a reason to book her. I didn't need to do it in the last CVC because I had my personal reward points and the clan was winning. So I kind of just stopped around 250,000 points. And, you know, mythical tomes are worth a lot. So I could hold out for the next CVC or champion trading tournament. Or I could just book her. Where is Sun's picture? Sun isn't around right now, but his presence is always felt. Yeah, there's gonna be a price to pay for that one. I don't know that it's the smartest idea in the world to get into a feud with your editor. like that's not the wisest move for a YouTube content creator, to take his editor on. But you know what? He's a troll and he deserves it. He just deserves it. Been trolling me for months. He thinks there's going to be no repercussions? Nah, I'm not a pushover. I'm a nice guy. I'm chill. Like, I'm patient. I'm easygoing. But I'm not a pushover. You want to troll me? You want to troll me, huh? You do? You do? Yeah. You're going to need more than a little ID card to protect you, buddy. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He's already declared war on me. It's going to be interesting to see what he pulls out. You're struggling with a new speed tune? Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Hey, Hammerhawk. Good to see you. Hey, Silver Bullet. Jeremy Knight. She helped you climb in hard Fire Knight. Yeah, I bet she did. Hey, Selena Feline. He definitely deserved it. Yeah, so here's the thing about Fire Knight hard mode, and I have thought about this. I was able to, just the other day, I don't know if it was 2 days ago, I think, I pushed Fire Knight hard mode to stage 7. I'm not sure that it's full auto, because I think I had to tweak the actual boss fight a little bit. Like, I could go into the AI and change the AI. But so here's my team. And the team is very good. You know, I have the ally attack. So Lady Mikage would bring a second ally attack. And then probably I would take out... I would probably take out Blazar. Because I think Sissia brings a lot of damage. And there's the ally attack with Cardiel, so I get more, attacks from Cardiel. Every time Sissia goes, Cardiel goes. I could replace her, and just go with the freezes. But I honestly think, I don't think I need this many freezes. I think what I need is more damage. There's another possibility, which is I could bring a reset champion, right? I could bring a reset champion and see how we do there. The one tricky part of the boss fight is that my only slow is from Carl. And he doesn't naturally use it that much. So it's this, right? Has a 100% chance of placing a decreased speed. So you have to force him to use this. And you need him to use it at the right moment. So you don't want him to use it while the shield's up, right? But you need him to use it to get the slow out there. So if there was somebody else who had a slow that was positioned better in their kit, then that could be valuable. Now, Lady Mikage, she extends debuffs. She has the extra damage, but I'm getting most of this from Cardiel anyway. So I don't know how much she adds to this team. With 2 ally attacks, Newt by himself, right? He's gonna control that turn meter quite a bit. The nice thing about Carl is he's void, so you don't have to worry about the affinity of the boss. So for instance, stage 8 is going to be good for Newt. Stage 9 is going to be fine. So maybe I don't have to worry about affinity moving forward. What I have to worry about actually is accuracy. I don't have the accuracy on my champions right now to get all the way up. Oh, thanks, Dark. Yeah, he's great. He's in the next room. We had a little bit of a rough night last night. He's been home, I think, eight days. And we've had 4 good nights and 4 bad nights. So we're batting 500, which I gotta say is not too bad. Not too bad. I have the overnight shift. So my wife and I are on different sleeping schedules. So that we're each with the baby 6 hours overnight. So she gets 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I get 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And you know, the baby's covered all night. And then when the baby's asleep, we can sleep. So we're like in 2 different rooms, you know. There's like a sleeping room and then there's a baby room. But we can sleep in the baby room if he's asleep. But he hasn't been sleeping that much overnight. He's getting up every 40 minutes overnight. During the day, he sleeps a ton, you know. So that's the tricky thing. We need to reverse that. We need to have him sleep less during the day and more at night. We're gonna figure it out. But he's awesome. He's awesome. He's just the best thing ever. So yeah, I'm enjoying being a dad. Let's see. What's going on with the stream here? The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Is anybody getting issues with the stream? Is it choppy? Is it choppy at all? Okay. Let me, I don't know if this is something I can even change midstream. See if I can. I don't know if it's going to change during the stream or not, but we'll see. Yeah, it's just giving me this little warning that the bit rate's too low, but I don't know. Urso pulled Riho. Yes, congrats. I want Riho badly. I think she's awesome. I don't have her. I've never pulled her. The day she came out, I was like, this is an amazing champion, and I want her. First of all, she's one of the coolest looking champions in the game. Absolutely badass skin, right? I mean, how cool is this skin? I think it's one of my favorites. It might be my favorite. But all right, so, you know, decent base stats, right? But she's a support, so her stats are not super important. So this A1 is basically Elva's A1. It's a little bit better than Elva's A1, right? So pretty good. Now the A2 is sick. This is the ridiculous skill, right? So places a stun debuff on a target enemy for 1 turn, as well as an HP burn debuff, decrease defense, weaken, decrease attack, and decrease crit rate debuff for 2 turns, then attacks the target. So this can be used in a lot of places. Any boss fight, right? You're going to get the decreased defense and the weaken, plus the HP burn, the decreased attack, and the decreased crit rate, which, by the way, for every boss has 15% crit rate, so it basically negates their crit rate. Now, it's a lot of debuffs, and if you don't need all of the debuffs, like if you're trying to use like poisons, or, you know, you have other debuffs that you want to apply, like poison sensitivity or slow or whatever, like, you know, you can fill up a debuff bar pretty quickly if you want to use bombs or something. So you have to be aware of that. And then here we have removes all debuffs from all allies, then places a block debuffs buff on them for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Also heals all allies by 35% of their max HP and a further 5% for each debuff removed from them. This is also a phenomenal skill. this is the skill that like Pythion's kit is based around, right? Like this is, I mean, he's a reviver, AoE reviver as well, but it's like the idea of like, you know, Cardiel has this skill. There are only a few champions who have this skill. Elva has this skill where you have a full team cleanse plus a block debuffs. There are only a very few champions who have this. So this is highly usable. Plus, this is the biggest heal on this skill in the game, right? So you get a really nice chunky heal on top of this. It could be 50%, could be 60%, depending on how many debuffs you have, you know, depending on what content you're in. So absolutely fantastic. Now the passive, when receiving any debuffs, instantly transfers them from this champion to the attacker. Will not transfer debuffs that cannot be removed. But this is a way to like anything that can be cleansed can be thrown back instead. You can use this against Doom Tower bosses. You know, you can use this to throw bombs back on Bommel. The removable bombs. Because some of them are not removable. You can throw poisons back at, you know, like it's just, and it does have a 3-turn cooldown. So be aware of that. You know, it's not like every single debuff ever will not land. But this is pretty cool. Hello, Quinn. Hello, Jen. Sindragore, Captain Volcano. Good to see everybody. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I think in general, you know, when you have a champion like this, if you have a specific solution that you're building Riho for, then you can go ahead and start, you know, gearing more in a more specialized way. But as a general kind of rule, you've got a few things that you want to do here, right? So the first is you need accuracy for these debuffs. This is not a champion who ignores, like, or it can't be resisted, right? This can be resisted. The good news is you're void affinity, so you'll never weak hit. But you need accuracy, and then you need tankiness, right? And then you might want to consider resist. Like, how much do you want to put into resist on your cleanser? You could go high resist, like what I'm doing currently with my Cardiel. And I'm trying to get him into more resistance. And you can see, so now I've got him up to 369 resistance. I'd like to top like 500. I'd like to get him up around 600 resistance if I could. But you can actually check the resistance that you need for the content you're running. So if you're talking about resisting, like, let's say you want to resist the debuffs from Dragon hard mode, you know, or whatever, then you can go into the raid stages tool on hellhades.com and check what resistance you need and kind of look there. So actually, let me just do that real quickly. Let me jump over to all right, so just come over here to the raid stages tool. Go to a dungeon. Doesn't really matter which dungeon. They're all pretty close to each other. Actually, let's do Fire Knight. Let's cast. Fire Knight might not ever land an attack, you know, but I'm just curious. So his accuracy is 330, so I need 435 resistance for that. Let's check Dragon. Yeah, I need 435 for that. So, like, you know, I need another 100 resist. And then obviously there's Arena, which is a whole different beast. So you could do a similar thing with Riho. Basically, what you're seeing here is, you know, speed, accuracy, right? And resistance. That's what I'm getting. Speed, accuracy, resistance, and then tankiness. You want the defensive percentage. I would much prefer an HP percentage gauntlet or chest piece. I do not need 5,800 defense on Cardiel. That's not the goal, right? The end goal is to get at least one of these pieces into an HP percentage piece, because he's only rocking 53,000 HP. I should have him up around, like, I'd love to have him at 80. 80,000 HP, and maybe like 4K defense. That would be a much better distribution of tanky stats. I do have, this Revenge banner that has defense on it. I'm going to try to get him into a resistance banner with more speed than this. This doesn't have a ton of speed. If I could get a resistance banner in the Revenge set, like I would prefer Revenge accessories on him because his A1, right, heals everybody. So the more A1s he gets, not only the more damage that he does, but the tankier the whole team gets. So I would love, 2 Revenge accessories or 3 Revenge accessories. I could also go for like refresh accessories if I wanted to try to maximize his ally attack, but I think realistically, I want Revenge as much as possible. And what I'd probably go for him is if I could get 3 Righteous sets or 2 Righteous sets and a speed set with high resist, get him up to 500, 550 resist for Arena, because that's where I'm going to be using him. Then that's what I would do. And so Rio's the same thing. She's the same exact kind of thing here, except she needs accuracy that Cardiel doesn't. So she's even more stat hungry, which is a little bit tricky. So you could ignore the resistance. That's an option. You could just say she'll cleanse when she cleanses. You'll try to use the block debuffs proactively, and that may negate the need for resistance. That's basically what I've done in the past with Cardiel. Like I had a decent amount of resistance on him for like low level stuff, but for high level stuff, I just try to plan my attacks accordingly. Captain Volcano, welcome back to the Barbarian. Wait, is that new? Is that completely new? Captain Volcano? The horde grows? Doth the horde grow? It does.
The horde grows.
Hey, look who's here. Look who decided to show up.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
No, you don't even notice me popping in.
No, let me see if I can. Are you streaming?
I can be.
Yeah, let everybody see your
set it up right now.
Happy face. Hey, Caveman. Hey,
I wasn't
Ephemeral.
sure what time we were getting started. I was enjoying some lunch. It was great. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, Darren. Good to see you. Ace. John Hodgson. The baby is doing awesome. He's fantastic.
Baby Geo doing wonderful.
That's not his name, and don't start that thing. Don't even start that. Okay. So, yeah, he's doing great. He's settling in. We're settling in. We're still adapting. So I think I was saying earlier, we've had him home for 8 nights. I think it's been 7 nights, 8 nights, 9 nights. Who knows? Time blends all together. And about half the nights have been good nights and half the nights have been bad nights. So he's called Mancer. Kirk. Yeah, but he's fantastic. He's beautiful. He's healthy. He's huge. He's awesome. He looks just like me. He looks just like me. He really does.
Lucky kid, huh?
Yep. Lucky kid. His of course, his mom's beautiful. If he looked like his mom, he'd be a lucky kid.
He'd be the luckier kid.
Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that.
As you should.
When will you get to see the baby? You will not get to see the baby. That is not something that we're going to do, unfortunately. I know some people would really like it, but we've decided not to. We're keeping him off social media. Maybe at some point in the future we'll change that policy, but we aren't sharing any pictures via any social media for now. That's just our feeling on the matter for now. Yeah. But yeah, he's great. So Son, let's get you. Can we get you on screen? We can maybe. Let's see if we can do this. It's been a while. It has been a minute. Let's.
Doing the hard work.
It is not recognizing Discord at the moment. Why is it not recognizing? Like OBS doesn't see Discord. Why doesn't OBS?
Yeah, that's a strange one. I mean, I see a little small me on the screen right now.
Yeah, you've just popped up here. That's interesting.
It's me. It's little me. Little mini me. I wonder if I can.
We're getting there. We're getting closer. There you go. Get you in the right spot.
It works, huh?
It's weird.
Looks great.
It's weird. It's like the new versus pro days. We're back in action.
Yeah, the bagel days. Bagel days? The good old. Holy moly.
Bad old days.
Back to the good old days. Oh,
The days
buddy.
where Son was constantly kept in his corner.
Brother, I'm still there.
What are you talking about?
Ready. That's where I live.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm here all the time. It's rough out here. These stairs are freaky. I can't sleep at night. I feel like Cole runs up and down the stairs just to wake me up. Stomps on them every now and then.
Hell yeah. There's
I see the
no
dust
point
poured through the cracks.
There's no point in having like a custom built dungeon in your house if you don't torture the person who stays within it.
You know what? That's actually big facts right there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a personal dungeon, you might as well make proper use of it.
Justin, that has been my favorite video of like the year so far. The needless censoring, right?
Oh yeah.
Jay Giggs, that had me rolling for days. That was absolutely fantastic.
And I'm going to Lady Mikage.
I will be. I will be. Fusing Lady Mikage. Yeah, I will be fusing Lady Mikage. I did fuse her. She's here.
Yeah, it was
right there.
That's
I was going to do a video on it, and then I was just too tired. I was like, no. So, yeah, no, it's not that Son's in my brain. It's just that he seems to pop up whenever you least expect him to. So.
Yeah.
You finally got Ash to look at the duo. It took 6 callouts.
Do you really have a pop-up of me? Quote unquote, not, wait, hold on. It's not actually me, first off.
First of all, it is you. It's absolutely you. And the fact that you didn't tell me you were in a Marvel movie is upsetting. Okay.
True.
So
that was my
yeah.
breakout role.
Yeah, you went right from there to Cole Red Plays.
Yeah, big moves, big money moves.
Yep. You did it, Amy. It's not normal. That's what we're gonna try that today, I think. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so the two things I want to do today is I want to decide to build, like, I want to build Lady Mikage. I want to decide how I'm going to build her. I don't honestly know. I don't know where I would use her. My thought right now is the easiest place to use her is either Arena or Hydra. Now she has this A1, right, which is attacks one enemy with one random ally from the Shadowkin faction, right? So if I just look at my Shadowkin champions, these are my Shadowkin champions. So the natural pairing, I think, is Harima, right? You pair these two together. And you get that AoE decrease attack out there. You know, I think that's pretty nice. Obviously, you could do it with Ninja. It's hard to speed tune because Ninja gets turn meter on his A1 against bosses. So, like, you couldn't really do that easily in a clan boss speed tune, for instance. That would be pretty tricky. Lady Kimmy's not bad. She gets turn meter decrease on her A1. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, I have Genbo. Genbo works well in Arena. He has this steal. It's a double hitter on the A1.
When we're done here, Cole, can we figure out why your raid is all wonky?
Why my raid is all wonky?
Yeah, it's all stretched out and low res.
I don't know why is it low res?
It's low res and stretched out.
It's stretched out because of what I'm doing on my screen to see chat. Like, it's not in windowed mode, you know?
Oh, why you not do the turbo top?
Yeah, all right.
I bring you solutions, and you ignore them. See, this is what it's like to be under the stairs. Try to solve the problems, you get ignored.
So yeah, so I mean, I've got good pairings, I guess. I don't know that there's a phenomenal pairing. Like, I was trying to think of this the other day. I was just like looking through the Shadowkin faction. I'm like, who's the best pairing? You know, like, who's a really, really strong pairing? And, you know, you have a weaken here on the A1 for Kyoku, which is pretty good. It's also a triple hitter, potentially. So, you know, I have Zinogre. I haven't built her yet. This is a triple hitter as well with a weaken. So that would be a good pairing. I would love like an AoE A1. You know, somebody that had a really good AoE A1. You put him in a stun set or something. I don't know. You know, have some fun, mess around with that. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there are, of course, good epics. There are plenty of good epics. But nobody jumps off the screen and is like, oh yeah, you gotta pair this person. Actually, let's look at the rares. I don't even think the rares. I mean, maybe Life Taker, right? Heal reduction. I mean, Hatatsu has a decreased attack, does it? No, it's a leech, right? Yeah, Taragi has the decreased attack. Yeah, Oboro has an interesting A1. If the target is under 4 or more debuffs, it's an AoE. But decreased defense, so Oboro could potentially be good. And by the way, I think it was Bronco. Bronco did a video on an Oboro solo of Amius.
That's
so
kind of sick.
Oboro can solo Amius. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe in Hydra, Mr. Brightside. That's a good idea. I could maybe. I mean, I haven't built a Boro, right? So my Boro's 4 stars, I think. I don't think she's even 5 stars. I do have one somewhere. Here she is. She does have a blessing. So I could build her. She's got a couple of books on her from copies. So it's this revive on death mechanic that works for Amius, right? So she places a revive on death on herself for 3 turns. And then she dies, she comes back, and she does it again. So she's basically unkillable, and she just wears them down. Pretty cool. Sachi's an interesting option, too. Because you get the AoE, but she also has the, where is it? Increase attack and turn meter fill, right? Now, Lady Mikage has that, but you're right, she is an AoE A1. I didn't think about that. Decrease accuracy is kind of interesting too. That could work in Hydra as well. Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of interesting. I feel like this body model and skin, it looks like a an action figure, doesn't it? It looks like a G.I. Joe action figure or something like that. You know, like the ropes would be painted on. You know, they wouldn't be actual. It'd just be molded plastic. And then there'd be like 6 other versions of her in like different outfits, and they'd all look the exact same. You know, like that's what it looks like to me.
True.
Of course, you can't see because sun is where.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah. so yeah, this is just looks like a. It looks like a. I don't know, like a soldier in Cobra. Okay. Son, what are you working on right now?
I'm currently working on the Griffin boss. I am in Hard Doom Tower. I think this is what, like floor 50 or something, whatever it is.
Let me see if I can get this working. Where are you? Doom Tower. What floor? Griffin boss?
Yeah. The exact level, I have forgotten. All I saw was a void shard at the end of the road. And
Yeah.
I'm going for that. As long as I can beat this stage, which I think I'm in the clear now. Yeah, I think I previously had a team for this that did it on auto, and I didn't never save the team, so now I'm just kind of making it up as I go.
Yeah. That happens to me so many. Hey, Lumac. Hey, Despawn. Yeah, it could be Mortal Kombat. You're right, Alex. Could be Mortal Kombat. But all right, so let's see. Let's get a poll going.
Got him. Excuse me. There we go. That was stage 50. Not too shabby. Despawn says he needs a solution for legendary books in this game. I mean, the most powerful solution is one that has 16 numbers. But if you don't want to do that, chippy training.
Right. Keep in mind that I have Cardiel, so I have my ally attack for Fire Knight. Not that I couldn't use a second ally attack, but just be aware, right? So Need a solution for legendary books. You know.
Yeah, so that was the joke. The most powerful solution has 16 numbers. Is that how many numbers credit card has? I'm pretty sure, right?
What's that?
Credit card has 16 numbers.
Oh.
All right.
I don't think
But
it
if it
six. Does it have 16?
does it, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it 4 sets of 4?
You're right. It has 16 numbers.
Look at that.
Yeah. So,
but champion training is great. A lot of champion trainings have a Lego book at the end. So I've done every single champion training.
my solution is to build epic.
Yeah, but then you know, you get good and you pull a Siffy, and what, you're just not going to build her because she's legendary? Got mine.
I don't need Siffy.
Okay.
What do I need Siffy for? Honestly, I was thinking about this after you pulled her. Now you need Siffy. She's going to be great for your account. But I was like, if I got Siffy, like, first of all, I'd want to build her. I'd want to build her. But honestly, I'm like, I guess I would just build her purely for arena and I guess runner. I don't know, because it's like with Armands, with Arbiter, with Lady Kimmy, with Wukong, like all the speed leads that I need, I have. If I wanted, you know, I mean, I think she would be good for a go second team. I think she'd be really good for a go second team for me. But I have too many champions for arena, honestly. And what I need to do is just pick like 10 of them and build them specifically for arena and get them out of their PvE build. That's all I need to do. You know, and it's like, so Siffy is great, but it doesn't solve a problem, right? It just adds to a problem I already have. So you, on the other hand, I think she's going to be massive for your account.
All I'm seeing is everyone needs CV. We all need CV. CV is queen. I agree with you. Everybody in the chat, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, for me, she's definitely going to be a game changer, I think. The problem for me is so I've already 6-starred her. I've already fully mastered her. But I've rebuilt every single one of my teams the day of the free gear removal, and it took hours. And all of my good gear is gone.
Right.
So I couldn't get Siffy at a good build if I wanted to, unless I completely tear apart all of my builds again. I think I don't think I got it in me, Chief. I just don't think I do. So she's gonna end up a little bit middle of the road for a couple weeks.
Fair enough.
Plus, I need to book her. Ugh, that's another problem.
Yeah.
Tell me about your Amius plan. Well, I guess you have a lot of options available, don't you? But don't you need like what is it? Block heals or whatever they want to call it?
Yeah, it's heal reduction is useful, and I have a Venom Mage. So we're back to the rotation where Venom Mage is in. I'm not 100% sure about Amius. I've only fought the battle like twice. I really have spent no time. I don't really remember the fight that well, other than he shifts forms and you have to choose when you apply your debuffs to force him out of the forms. It's a little bit tricky, and it's not entirely in my brain right now. So I'm actually reading through the guide here.
Yeah, I for once wasn't limited by the limitations in Centranos and was able to get all 3 keys. But now I'm limited in the Amius fight, and I don't have access to any of that.
I mean, I feel like I should be okay with the Amius fight this time around. I think that like having a decreased attack is supposed to be valuable, if I remember correctly. Right now I'm just looking at normal. I'm not looking at hard mode yet. But yeah, you want to avoid skill cooldowns. Or like getting free cooldown reduction. Like you don't want that. You don't want a skill that reduces cooldowns, and you don't want a mastery that reduces cooldowns. So that can be a little bit tricky because in a lot of cases you go for that. You know, it's like, so I've got to find a team that doesn't have that. And I think I have one that could work. I think I have one that could work well. Not really sure. Let's go check it out. Let's just see if this works. I don't even know if it's gonna work. All right, so how is okay? So this is what I'm thinking right now. So I've got Cardiel with the 6 stars, so I'm going to bring him in. I've got Doom Priest with 5 stars, so I'm thinking about bringing her in. Right, and then we've got Newt for damage. We've got Venom Mage, 3-star Venom Mage for heal reduction. And then the last spot is kind of up for grabs. So I was thinking either my 3-star Godseeker Neri or my 1-star Pythion for backup cleanse, but I've got 2 cleansers now. I've got 2 heals. So this would be a heal, and this would be a revive. I don't have a reviver, right? So I could also go with the 4-star Rector Drath. I mean, the nice thing about Godseeker Neri is she's super tanky because she's built for Sand Devil's Necropolis. So let's just try this. Dreng has burned. I mean, he's in a regen set too, so I mean, I could bring him in, but I think this is enough, right? You think I could go like this? I'm just worried that I'll need a reviver, and that I don't have one. Maybe I just should bring the AOE reviver, right? Just to revive everybody in case team gets nuked out. I don't know. We'll just see. I'm gonna do this for now, I think. I want to learn the fight. You know, that's the thing. I want to learn the fight a little bit better. So when you debuff him, he can flip them into buffs. I don't have a buff removal champion. Maybe that's what I should have brought in. Yeah, I think Newt by himself, and also with Venom Mage, I think they're going to be enough. I got to remember when to use the heal block. I don't remember when to. Whenever an enemy is healed, Amius also heals by 20% of the value of the original heal. Wow, okay. I'm on normal mode, so easy, not hard. Let's see. People are calling out Lady Mikage for Hydra. I like that idea, actually. But okay, let's see. I don't think we need the heal reduction right now, right?
I don't know. He heals a lot.
Yeah, he does.
But I think he does it in the second form. If I honestly, I went in there and got my behind handed to me, and I walked away.
I think we need to debuff him to force him to change forms, but I'm not 100% sure. Or to use the skill. Okay, so now this is going to be the skill. Before attacking, increase duration of all buffs and decrease duration of all debuffs on Amius. Heals. So this is the thing we need to block. I think this is the heal that we need to block. I think. But there's also a heal when he switches forms, right? So I don't know. So yeah, he just got a huge heal there. So now he's going to use the A1. I may need a buff removal champion. So we should change forms, right? I'm not going to cheese him. I'm trying to learn the fight. Okay, so I don't know exactly what happened there. I don't know if that's a block. If I can block that debuff. Let's see. What does it do?
I'm watching the fight too, just to see.
Yeah. So he switches back when the buff runs out. Is that when he switches back? So where is the music? Asks Alex.
I had music on the Sunday FUNDAY.
Yeah.
In fact, I wish I could. I found one that was actually seemed all right. And I'll have to see if I can find it again. I don't know where it went. Thought I had it saved somewhere.
I feel like Venom Mage should be landing the debuffs, but is not. I don't know why. Yeah, that's what people were saying, Joseph. Oboro Mikage. I'm not landing my debuffs from Venom Mage. I may have changed Venom Mage's build at one point, but I don't remember reducing accuracy for any reason. I thought she had the accuracy she needed. But she's not landing any debuffs. So yeah, I haven't landed a single debuff from Venom Mage. Let's go take a look at Venom Mage. Because if Venom Mage doesn't have the accuracy to do it, then there's no point to bring her in. I should just go a different route. Okay, so let's look at Venom Mage. $256 accuracy. Resistance banner, I could swap to a accuracy banner, I guess. What do we need for Amius the Lunar Archon on normal? You need 375. Need 375. So even if I switch the banner, that's not enough. Hey, Great Dane. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. All right, so let's think about this. If we don't bring in Venomage, is there another champion that we have who has heal reduction? Renegade. He's not going to have the accuracy either. What about the lesser heal reduction? Nope. So basically it's Venomage or nothing. We have the free regearing, right? So we could regear Venomage today to get her more accuracy. She's in a solo build right now for Dragon, and she does pretty well there. But I probably don't need her for that anymore because I don't really farm Dragon 20 even in tournaments. I farm Dragon Stage 10 hard mode because I just want the gear. And champion training isn't such a hassle for me. And she's got some good regen gear. I could pull this regen gear off of her and start giving it to other champions. Like there are other champions that, or I could just look for pieces that have more accuracy, I suppose. These are the two pieces that don't have accuracy. So if I got 20, let's say 30 accuracy per piece, that'd be 60 plus 96 accuracy, 100, call it 150. That would get me over the number I needed, right? Because I need 300 and, what did we say? 350? 375? 375. But that's what I would need to do. Yeah, I mean, I can see if there's a banner even available. Single roll into speed there. I might get a roll into speed there. Cleansing banner. That's nice. Kind of like that. See if this rolls into speed. Not bad. I could do that. How much speed would I lose? 17. I'd lose at least 7 speed. It's kind of rough.
Free gear removal, so you can always save the build and just switch it for this one fight.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that gets us up to 350, 362. 362. Right? No, 352. 352. So this is the piece I think I replaced on her, and the previous piece had accuracy. I need to get 375, right? That's not a great glyph. I could probably glyph to 370. Yeah, I could definitely glyph to 375. But let's just check out some accuracy. So anybody got a double? Come on, big. 10. Do it again. Bigger. 14. That's better. All right. So now we're at 361. We only need 14 more. Ouch. Come on. Hey, Kate. Good to see you. All right. We are now at 379. So we've got it. She also, no, she doesn't have any accuracy. So 379. So it should be enough. Let's see. Let's get back in there and see if she actually lands any of her debuffs now. Yep. There we go. Okay, so here's the thing. Converts the debuffs into buffs, right? There's the that was a big heal too. Jeez. What skill was that? Was that this one? That was this one. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how fast we have to be for this. Yeah, I do have an Orn. I could build an Orn. I mean, I should just build my RTAC for soloing everything, I think. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how this. I feel like, oh, that was okay. That was surprising. So going to convert back, right? So do I need to do the? I don't know. We'll do the healing reduction right now. Try it. See what happens. I thought he was going to convert back. Is it just a visual glyph? Is he actually converted back and I'm just... There's a visual glitch. I forgot about that. I just don't remember exactly how it works. Look, 100% heal there. That converted to, so I got to watch the icons. I think the icons change, right? I got to figure out when to use this block healing. It's got a continuous heal buff because I think the poisons convert to continuous heal buffs. That was a nice chunky heal. All right, so now even though the moon came back, he's in his normal form now because the icons are different. So he's going to use this skill next. So this is the heal. This is where we need to block his heal, I'm pretty sure. And we missed. Now we've got one more turn. He's going to do the A1. Right? And again, he's going to heal himself. That wasn't a big heal. All right, so that doesn't seem too bad. It might be overkill with the healers right now. I might be able to bring in more damage. I think somebody mentioned Cold Heart. Cold Heart's good because she's got a another healing reduction. So 2 healing reductions could be good. All right, so now he's going to flip, and I forget if I want to debuff him or not. Do I want that decrease attack? All right, so I don't want to use the block debuffs here. Killed my reviver. Don't know why. Don't know why. Can we bring in Cold Heart? No, we don't. We don't have Dark Elves. We don't have Dark Elves. Okay, so who are the other champions I could think about bringing in instead of a healer? So potentially could be. I mean, Corvus would pair well with Venom Mage. Also has the Brimstone. Doesn't have the accuracy to land the Brimstone. Doesn't have the accuracy. So either a champion who doesn't need accuracy or a champion who has the accuracy we need. Fortunately, both of these champions have Cycle of Magic. If I have a champion who can remove buffs, right? That could be good. Don't see it. I mean, Razin has the accuracy to remove the buffs. And has the accuracy to land a Brimstone. And he's tanky. I mean, one of the things is, Doom Priest has those 5 stars, right? So it's like, I don't really want to remove her. I'm just going to see. I'm just going to try to learn the fight. So I think the boss is going to use Lunar Storm here. Yeah. Now we have to worry about this. Removes any block buffs, debuffs. Also removes any negative status. Heal reduction and weaken will be replaced with continuous heal and strengthen. So it's the heal reduction that becomes the continuous heal. Okay. Now, if the boss has no debuffs, does he use the skill? Yes. And he stuns me. Okay, so that can be blocked. I can use Cardiel's block for that. Also, Doom Priest just cleanses it, but she's not super fast, so she cleansed it at the end of the turn, unfortunately. So now we're going here, right? So now I think we want to land debuffs. I don't think the boss uses his A1. Here, I think he just transforms, right? So now he used this one. So he used this. Remove any places sleep debuffs on all enemies. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted by any means. Converts each buff into, also removes any buffs positively affecting stats and replaces them with their mirrored debuff equivalent. Okay, so when he changes into this form, he removes your buffs. So you don't want buffs when he changes into his red form. Okay, that's good to know. I'm not sure when I want to place the Black Divas. I think I want to place the Black debuffs in the other form, but I'm not 100% sure. The question is, will his A1 kill somebody? It will, and then he gets an automatic activation there. When his A1 kills somebody, instantly activates his Maniacal Bedlam, which we can't do anything about. Can't do anything about that, I don't think. Okay, so now he's going to do this skill. Removes any block buffs. Removes any negative. Okay. Places a stun. So this is what we want to block this stun, I think. Question is, will I come back around to a Cardiel turn or not? Yeah, Darren, give me just a sec here. All right, so now I can use the debuffs. So I think now we want to get the healing reduction out. I think we've got 2 turns to kill him. I think we can do this. If Newt gets back around to his A3, I think we win. Think. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, figuring out like when to use the block debuffs is key, I think, and when to apply the healing reduction and the debuffs. So that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Took a little while. I would still love to run that like a dozen more times and figure that out. But Newt's definitely the damage dealer that's going to work here. Obviously, if you don't have Newt, you want another high damage dealer because you need to really chunk the boss when you get the opportunity, and the windows are kind of small. So that felt okay. That felt okay. That's not good. That's good. That's not great, but we'll see. That's not great either. Wow. Some pretty not good pieces. Not great. That's a good piece. That could be a good piece. That could be a good piece. That could be a very good piece. Yeah, defensive amulet on an attack base, like that's not really either, but you hold on to them just because you need them to complete the sets. I think these. I'm gonna sell that one. Actually, I think I'm gonna sell all these merciless ones. That's okay. Okay. And then those are fine. Okay, not bad. Amius down. 5 minutes, 40 seconds. What was that? 3 tries?
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Now we got to go see if we can unlock him in hard mode. So I need to get to this boss over here to get my second key, and then the third key is over here. Getting through this is tricky. I tried before, but was unable to do so. But I think I might be. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure about the best approach here. Right, I was avoiding Uko because of the AoE, but the problem is I don't have a cleanse. Right, I have a mini cleanse from Ugo. And I think Steel Skull has just a heal, right? No cleanse? No, moves. Okay, single target cleanse. What blessing would we put here? Probably just miracle heal for now. Or emergency heal. Yeah, I have Man-Eater for the block debuffs. The issue is I also lack damage, right? I don't have a ton of damage here. Let's see if this is even viable. So this is where I need to do the mini cleanse. A little bit of a... Yeah, the more turn meter I can control, the better off I am. Unfortunately, I just don't have damage. I mean, Man-Eater hits decently hard. He's most of my damage. And then everybody else tickles. Hey, son, where are you?
Great question, my friend.
Not you. Where are you? There you go. There we go. Get you back there. Okay. Still working on Doom Tower? No, you're working on faction crypts.
Yeah, it's my first time trying stage 21.
For which faction?
Sacred Order.
Nice.
It's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna clear it. Maybe. In fact, I think that might be my first faction that I've fully cleared if I do.
Really? Sweet. Sacred Order is generally like fairly easy. Not easy. None of them are easy, but on the easier side because they just have so many revivers and cleansers and stuff, you know, so it's like you can usually just throw in any damage dealers with all the supports that they have and you're in good shape. Who are you running?
I've got Beacon, Shemail, Armiger, Anchorite, and Bivold.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with all the turn meter, it's going to be a 3-star clear too, I think.
Nice.
Very nice.
Looks like I'm going to kill aggro here. Guess I had the right team. Maybe I just didn't take the time to do the work last, when I put the team together. It's satisfying clearing those faction, like, and full auto. You're like, okay, I can just now farm stage 21.
Yeah. I mean, this random block damage debuff is kind of annoying, but yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah. I can start working my way over here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I can get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could go this way too. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
There we go.
Congrats.
It's my first faction, fully 3-starred, all done.
How are you doing in terms of total stars?
I'm at 689.
Wow. You're moving.
Is that moving?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what, 900 and something. You're 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it took me 2 years, right? It was
there's
almost
some
2
I'm
years to the
struggling
day.
with.
Do you remember when we
True.
made that video?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So it's like you're there. Now, I mean, one of the things that'll happen is, and this happens to
Oh, I
everybody.
lied. Looks like Barbarian was actually the first one that I fully cleared. Now that I think about it, when I had Armands and Syl pretty much back to back, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Barbarians is really
Oh,
easy.
yeah, that was just stupid easy.
Sacred Order is fairly easy. High Elves is fairly easy. Like there are some that you just clear earlier than others because they're not, I mean, when you think about Barbarians, it's like you get High Katoon for free.
Yeah.
So it's like she's the perfect faction crypt lead. So it's like, all right, that's awesome. Then you're going to get Scylla the Drakes for free. If you can't clear Barbarians with just those two, like those two champions are enough with anybody really to clear that faction. But throw in Armands and it's stupid, right? It's like,
It's just game over.
Right. So, but like, I think I cleared my Barbarian crypt with High Katoon, Scylla the Drakes, Shield Guard, I think a 5-star Soulbond Bowyer. And I had somebody else. I had one other decent champion, but it wasn't. I can't think of who is in that faction right now. I'm trying to think. Oh, it might have been War Maiden. It might have been a 5-star War Maiden, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, true. Sauce, you said Undead Horde just got way easier for me. But yeah, that's the one I'm struggling on right now. But with Siffy, that's gonna make a big difference. Yeah, I'm starting to refocus on the faction wars a little bit. Getting those pushes going. I did my Silver Watchers, put a couple champions to 5-star, like my Reviver and stuff like that. Got me an extra couple levels. Not too shabby. Ace was really good there.
Yeah, I think, the way that I did mine originally, I wasn't really focused on faction crypts. I didn't know how valuable they were back in the day when I started playing Raid. And basically what I did is I waited to get a 6-star. Like I waited to get a legendary who I wanted a 6-star in the faction, ran them up, and then sort of built the team around them, and I would try to get supports. And like I would run like 40s, I'd run like epics who I just had. Because I saved all my epics. And so it was like, oh, I used Razin. Okay, now Lizardman is, pushed. It's like, oh, now I got, Scylla the Drakes. Okay, Barbarian is pushed. Oh, now I got my Arbiter. Okay, High Elves is done. And it was like, that's basically how I did it for like a year and a half. And then I was like, oh, I could probably just focus a little bit of energy on this, and it's not that hard. And so I think I was probably where you are now, like 18 months into the game. And then I started to pay a little bit of attention. I was like, oh, I can just 5-star some revivers. Just get 5-star tanky revivers, and that helps. Or, just find one damage healer or one AoE A1 champion you can put in a stun set. Like, I started using those tricks. And then I just pushed on really fast. There were still a couple of factions that were tricky, factions that, like, all right, you really, really need to get like specific champions. But for most of the factions, it just, once I understood the mechanics of how to progress in faction crypts, it was not hard. It was just a matter of resource investment, right? I just had to get the resources to do it.
Yeah. I think that's like right now for me. What happened is with the Mikage Soul event, I decided, well, I'm just not going to go for that pretty much at all. Like I bits and pieces. I got the 1-star soul, and that's great. But I spent like the last week straight in Minotaur, doing things like that. So any extra that I had, I put into like some faction wars champions and things of that nature, just getting those leveled up. The free gear removal, started building every team that I had a faction that was open, just build a full team again. And yeah, that's been a good for progression there. And hopefully now I can just, I can leave them there, and in a month I'll have better gear, better champions, do it again, and just keep pushing. I think that's kind of the plan now.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Man, I did so much Minotaur. I got my Arbiter done, my Syl done, I got Siffy done, I got all my Hydra teams done. I got like 4 or 5 other champions done. You can make so much progress when you just focus on it.
Yeah.
I hadn't wanted to do it for ages. Finally got to it. Totally worth.
So how are you doing in Hydra?
Good. I top keyed the brutal.
Nice.
So normal, hard, brutal, right?
With one team or with multiple teams?
Yeah, with one team. With my new Hydra team. I mean, I'm not one of those guys doing, hundreds of millions of damage, but I was able to clear it in one go. So yeah, that was really good.
Yes, and once you get Mithrala, Dark Elves is very easy. Absolutely. Obviously, not everybody starts with Kale. Not everybody builds Kale, but you do get Vizix, and Vizix and Mithrala is enough to clear that by themselves. You don't need anybody else. True. But if you have a Cold Heart, you've also got Cold Heart. If you have that, because almost everybody builds her Cold Heart as soon as they get her.
Cold Heart is my Geomancer.
Yeah, you still don't have yours. Huh?
No. I can't pull a Cold Heart to save my life. I watch people do 10 pulls and get 3 Cold Hearts, and I haven't seen a single one yet.
It took me like, I want to say it took me about as long as you've been playing the game to pull my first Cold Heart. I pulled my first Cold Heart around where you are right now. And so it's like 9 or 10 months in, I think. And then once I pulled her, I pulled like 10 more in the next 9 months.
That's all you get? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the last Void event, I went in and I was thinking to myself, if all I get's a Cold Heart, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
All I get is a Cold Heart. Didn't get the Cold Heart. I'll take the consolation prize.
I do feel like Cold Heart's very good. I think she's awesome. I think she's the best rare in the game, and I don't think that's going to change. It's likely to change. That being said, I think that over the past 2 years, there have been more champions introduced to the game that can do things that you would have used Cold Heart for before. So it's not that she's been power crept by rares, but I think that there is like more versatility in the overall like champion pool than there used to be for doing the things that she does. And then also because once we got past a certain point, past stage 20 dungeons, and we got into hard modes and stuff, they put a cap on the max HP damage. That also kind of limited those types of champions. So you still have like other, still have sort of a natural cap to how effective she can be at a certain point. Although you can still use her against those teams. Like you can still use her even when her damage is capped, just because of her 100% turn meter reduction, you know, and the rest of her kit. So she's still really, really good.
Yeah, for sure.
I do think that it sort of depends when you get her, though. Like, there will come a time where if she does do, like, to you what Gio's done to me, where she just stays away for a year and a half or whatever, you'll get her and you'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been kind of worried about that. And it's like, I'm going to get her. And she's like, oh, well,
yeah.
Fortunately, you're going to go straight to the sidelines.
Right. Let's see. I got some boss fights. We're going to do this Scarab boss down here. And we're going to try to get that key for Amius in hard mode here. So Scarab boss, hard mode. Let's see who's got blood shield rings. Nope. I think some of these champions had blood shield stuff, and I took it off them.
Unfortunate.
That's good. That's very good. That's good. That might be enough, actually. I took it off Eric in the Fat for my clan boss team, and then I pulled him out of the clan boss team anyway. So maybe I should just put that back on him. See, where is it? Was it this one?
Yeah, how'd that go, by the way? Now that you've had a couple times to run the new clan boss team, how's it look?
Looks okay. It's close on damage. It's only clearing like 77 million or something. So it's a little bit worrisome. Somebody also mentioned in the comments that they were having an issue with the same tune in Spirit Affinity, and I haven't run up against Spirit Affinity yet, so I need to put it into the calculator and check out, you know, if there are any problems with it there. We'll see. It's a lot of 5-star banner.
I had the same problem with my clan boss team. Just every now and then it'll just do like a 30 million run.
Yeah.
When every other time it does 40 to 50 million.
Right.
The problem is when that happens back to back, it's not a 2 key.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of of the mind that I may just like do another clan boss speed tune anyway. Like, I'm really happy with the Elva build, and I'm happy that we have like Fane and you know, these other champions in there. I like having Dark Hail in there. Like, it's fun to have those champions be useful, and Demitha running at the 3-1. But somebody mentioned a Cardiel speed tune that where I can run him at like 311 speed or something. I'm like, oh. It's like, well, if I can run him that fast, I'll put him back in clan boss.
I mean, that, you know, at that stage.
Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna. Let's do this. Yeah. I don't have a destroy set, so it'll take a little while, but I think this could be. He might never get a turn. No, he's good. Now he's got all my buff. Should still work just fine. So I'm going to let this run in the background. We don't need to watch that. There's no continuous heals. I don't think it'll slow down. Yeah, so you know, it's also a little bit like my previous clan boss speed tune would do 140 million. You know, and now I've got one that does 77. You know, and it's like,
yeah.
it's not that I need the 140 million. Although sometimes in the clan, like people don't hit brutal or don't hit hard or whatever, and you just want as much damage to get the dual chest if you can. But I mean, obviously, Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare being cleared every day. So, I don't know. What I would love to do is have a.
What you're saying is you're a gamer, and bigger number means better player.
No.
DPS.
No. Absolutely not. But what I would like is a little bit more cushion so that I don't have to worry about potentially, not getting the full key. And yeah, that'd be good. Darren has 9 cold hearts. Can't feed him. It seems sacrilege. When I got my 3rd and 4th and 5th copy of Cold Heart, I fed those copies into my 2nd copy of Cold Heart to book her up. And then when she was fully booked, and eventually I didn't book her entirely with copies. I booked her with some rare books, and then I started building a 3rd and I started doing the same thing. So I think right now I might have pulled another one. I might have 4 copies right now, but I think I have 3 copies going.
Yeah, just 1 or 2 to spare, just in case.
Good clan luck for Sindragor. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. You'll likely build Cold Heart for Dark Fae with little exception. I don't actually use a Cold Heart in my Dark Fae. I have in the past, and she does work well. But I think once you have your allure, like you're freed from the need for a Cold Heart turn meter reduction. And the issue with Cold Heart sometimes, I think, is that her AoE isn't enough to really help you clear the enemy team. Right? Like, it's okay. Especially if you build her with 70% crit rate. If you build her with 100% crit rate, she's better. But yeah, I bring Allure and Physics, and that's more than enough.
And that's for Fire Knight? Or what area are you talking about?
No, for Dark Fae.
Oh, Dark Fae.
Yeah. The Mythbuster team, you can change Cardiel to minimum 303 speed. You can search world record team from Nub Video, which is the same structure, and you can do a minimum 150 million key. Okay. So it's the same as the Mythbuster, or is it the same as the Mythfu I'm running, but with Cardiel? Yeah, Mr. Brightside, that's basically what I'm doing at this point. All right, we're about 50% of the way through this Scarab boss. It looks simple. Yeah, it's not a problem here. You can see. Without a destroy set, he just takes a long time, but not particularly tricky. If you have the blood shield rings, Scarab boss is kind of a joke. And it's interesting because like I put out that video, right? We put out that video, son, and I still weekly get 2 or 3 comments like, "Thanks so much." I'm like it. When I made the video, honestly, I almost felt like people were just going to say, "Yeah, everybody knows this. Why are you even doing this video?" And then I've had tons of people come and be like, "Oh man, I was trying so hard," and then I just looked for my blood shield rings and I was able to beat them with like 5 random champions. I'm like, that's Scarab boss. I mean, floor 90 or whatever it is of hard Doom Tower, like you still need a good team. You still need a team with the stats, and it helps to have a reviver or, some heals or something, but.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I was editing that video, I was like, man, everybody knows this. Why are we covering this? Everybody's gonna know it's the blood shield rings is the answer. And the response was huge.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it just goes to remind that, you know, what may seem like obvious information is only obvious to you because you already have it.
Right. Yeah, I think that is that's a mistake we've fallen into before. Right? You assume people have the information and they don't. And one of the things that we try to do on the channel is like not make that assumption. We try to provide all of the information. I think that's what a lot of CCs do is like they provide 3/4 of the information because they assume the other quarter is just common knowledge. But for new players or for players who haven't watched their channel for a while, it's not. And so when we do a guide, we try to cover 100%, you know, or as close to 100% as we can get of the information. And sometimes we miss, sometimes we don't cover stuff. We leave stuff out. Although we're always trying to not leave stuff out. But because we give more information, we're constantly falling into that headspace of like, are we saying too much? Like, because we could trim the video by 7 minutes if we didn't mention these 8 things, you know, it's like, but we do a thorough job, you know, and the response is generally positive. I know we do longer videos and we're always trying to like not overwhelm people with the video length. I mean, the video we just did on the clan boss was an hour long, you know, and like we could have cut half of that video out, but I feel like the detail was useful to the people who are going to watch it. You know, some people probably skimmed through the video and that's fine. They can do that. You can't like reverse skim through a video that doesn't contain the information that you need. You know, like you can't do it the other way around. Like if it has too much, you can always, as a viewer, selectively skim, right? But if it doesn't have what you need, you can't, as a viewer, selectively like find that information that doesn't exist. So I would rather err on the side of providing too much information than not enough. Darren, you almost sold Baumel with Lady Annabelle, but you hit the 1500 turn count. Do you have War Master on her? Because if you have War Master, that can help. If you don't have War Master on her, it can be tricky.
Masteries will make the difference.
Yeah. Hammerhawk says there's no such thing as too much information. Yeah, Matt, you can do that. That's something that Sun actually discovered, or we discovered together early on in the Noob versus Pro account, which is the Lady Annabelle. I think it was actually Burn Geary, maybe. Burn Geary with Wukong. Like, you can use Wukong in against Scarab boss because he just dies and comes back and dies and comes back. So as long as your soloer doesn't die, you have an immortal Wukong.
Yeah, well, I the way I did that was with Apothecary was actually the first iteration.
Right.
For me. When I was like, oh, but I can just make Apothecary a respawn beacon. That's all he is. He's just a respawn for Wukong. He just heals himself over and over. Wukong dies over and over. And that's how I beat it early.
Yeah, one of the things that happens, I think, is as you progress in the game with your account, even if you're free-to-play player, you get multiple solutions for each fight. You know, there are... So, like, you could solo with Burn Geary, you could solo with Lady Annabelle, you could use, you know, a cheese method with Wukong, you could use, what's his name? Who's the unkillable rare? What's his name? Paragon?
Yeah.
You know, you can use him. So there's all sorts of different solutions, but you only need one. You know? So sometimes I get into debates about like what solution's better. You know, like is this free-to-play solution better than, you know, solution B that's also free to play? I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I have an opinion about which one I think is better, but simultaneously, like, if you like the other one and it works for you, do it. Do it. It works great.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, I know that that Dark Fae is one of those champions that people really struggle with. I have my solution that I'm currently running. I've had other solutions in the past. I've used like 6 different solutions on Dark Fae because as my champions evolve for other content, they have, come into the solution or left the solution. So if you like the Cold Heart solution, run 3 Cold Hearts. You know what I mean? Run, I don't know, Ursula lead, 3 Cold Hearts, and Deacon Armstrong. That'll work. It'll work fine. But my point being, like, I try not to fall in love with particular solutions because I know that there's going to be a new solution down the line that I might like better or might fit my roster better. And it can just be that simple a thing where it's like the champions that I have built in a particular way suit a particular solution, and then I can just be efficient. I don't have to like rebuild people, and I'm always looking to get more value out of the champions I already have in the builds that they're already in. Okay, so that boss. So now let's go for the key here. Now this will be interesting. This is hard mode spider plus magma dragon. And I do have Artak. So Artak is the solution for this. And then do I have a provoke? I do. I have Bivolt of the Thorn, so that should be no problem. So I think we'll do this. We'll do Razelvarg, Artak, Bivolt. If I had a Vrask who was 6 stars, I'd bring in Vrask for a little bit more sustain. Maybe we'll take the AoE Hex from Kemptham. Weaken from Athel. Bivolt's provoke is AoE, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, he's got it up already. So just want to rip through this spider boss. I am finding that the dual boss fights in Centranos are really fun for me. I'm really enjoying them. When they first came out, a lot of people complained. It's like, oh, you're reusing assets. Like, why not come up with some new bosses? I'm like, I actually really enjoy them. How do you feel about them?
I like them. I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's see what people think. All right, let's see. How are we doing over here? Did I die while I wasn't paying attention? No, fine. Matt Davis. Yeah, Vergis is an okay solution, especially early on. I think he's especially good for Scarab. Because you could just build him in a destroy set, right? Like you could actually speed things up. But for Bommel, it's different. I think that my first Bommel solution was Vogoth. And it took me a while to clear Bommel 90 hard. It was actually really tough. I built 2 Vogoths to do it. I built one to 50 and one to 60. and it was a race because the 50 would die. So it wasn't 100%. It was like a 30% success rate. And then YST came out with the Nishak Vermin Lord one shot, and I had the champions to do that, so I built that, and I got that to about a 50% win rate, and that was fun. That was just a fun team to run. But then I broke that for a Clan Boss speed tune that I ended up not using, which was unfortunate. There's a nice piece. That's a really nice piece. Fine. That's a very nice piece too. The speed roll on the mythic. It is only a 5-star, but that's pretty solid. That's kind of crap. Meh. All right, so we got 2 of the keys. Now we need to go find the third key. Where's the third key? It's over here somewhere. It's over here. Yeah. I think getting through this one was tough. I don't know if I have what it takes to get through here. So I might have to go the other route, see if I can get through here instead. One new boss for each area of Cintranos would have been nice, yeah. I mean, we got Amius, right? That's the new boss. And he's a tough fight. Like, we just fought him, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest fight. It's definitely a tricky fight. And the different requirements and the different rotations really make him like 5 different bosses as opposed to 1. So here's the reason. Here's the like free to play reason I like the dual boss system. You've already built solutions for each of these bosses, right? So you don't need new champions and new builds for new bosses that they could have brought in. So it's more about mixing and matching, finding, you know, like making sure, 1, that you've mastered the fight as a solo fight, that you know how to solve it as a solo fight, and then 2, being creative in terms of not only how you build a composition for the dual bosses, but also how you fight the fight. Because sometimes the same composition can do really well, you know, or it could do really poorly depending on how you target, you know, and stuff like that. So I like that it feels very tactical to me. I mean, that's the thing I like about the game anyway, is sort of the tactical nature of it. And yet I don't have to invest in, you know, 20 new 6-star champions. Have you gotten to Amius yet, son, you know, on normal mode?
Yeah, so that's the thing. This rotation was good for me selection-wise in all of the stages. I've gotten pretty far there. But for Amius, I have absolutely nothing that I can use to beat him. I mean, I maybe if I started to level some champions I would never use anywhere else, it would be just for Amius, and I'm not quite at that point yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, my selection is really limited in the Amius fight. No heal reduction, nothing to deal with any of his mechanics. Just don't have the option.
Yeah. DC Born, you can come to our Discord community and apply to one of our clans. I don't know if we have any spots currently. Otherwise, you know, you can always like put a message out, you know, in the Discord, and people who have clans may, you know, let you know about it. Darren, I think that, yes, you're not always going to, like, if you have a Bommel solution, if you have Lady Annabelle and then you can't use Lady Annabelle against Bommel in Cintranos, then you're like, oh, my solution doesn't work here. But I'll say this. I'll say it kind of works in the other direction too. When you have a champion who can solve the problem in Cintranos, you start thinking about that champion in Doom Tower, you know, or in the dungeons. You're like, oh. And so it kind of opens your eyes to how many different solutions there are. And in fact, you know, you can also find solutions that weren't originally solutions, which is kind of cool. And that brings that versatility to your roster again as a free to play player. You know, if I have a free gear rebuild, you know, opportunity like we have today, and I rebuild a couple of champions for Centranos, and then I can get value out of those Centranos builds in the content that I was running the champions in anyway, then great. You know, because it is possible. Like I do this. I did this just recently, where your new build is more versatile than your old build, because you were thinking previously about the champion as a particular solution for a particular dungeon. And now because you're using them in Centranos, but you still want to use them in that dungeon, your new build has to account for both fights. And as a result, you think more creatively about it. You think about the team composition. You think about the gearing. You think about the accessories. You think about the masteries. And you end up with a champion that's actually more powerful than the one that you had before. You know, the same champion, I mean, gets more powerful. But it can also be like, you look at a fight and you're like, I have no solutions for this in Centranos. That happens. You just get, you know, blockaded because you're like, I can't continue down this path until I defeat this node, and I have no champions built for that node. So it, you know, both happen. Let's see. Painted Clysis. Okay. If decreased attacks, HP burns, cleanses, heal on hit, I think we should be fine. All right, while this is running, son, I'm going to put you in charge for a minute. I'm going to go take a bathroom break, get a refill on my drink, check on the baby. I will be back in 5 minutes.
Indeed. Cuckoo caca.
All right,
Baby. Sweet freedom. How's it going, everybody? How y'all doing? I lost track of the chat for a little while. Zoned out on my Minotaur. At this point, I'm kind of struggling to figure out which champions to run in Minotaur. I don't really know if I care about my second Ugo yet. Definitely am not sure if I care about Rector. But, you know, we're having fun. Living large and loving life, brother. Hey, brother. Amen. I'm right there with you on that, Bright. Thanks, Darth. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Siffy was a solid pull. Great pull. Very happy about it. We were live in the Discord doing our void pulls. People were very excited. It was hype. Yeah, I'm kind of in a little bit of a weird in between with Siffy right now, because I want to build her immediately, but everything in my brain is like, oh, you know, now I got to wait for CVC in order to book her, make sure I get my points. So realistically, it's going to be like a month before I'm really actively using the Siffy. That also feels a little bad. Feels a little unfortunate. But the Warlord, nice. Yeah, I pulled Warlord right before Siffy. I think there was like maybe a 40 shard difference in between them, from Warlord straight to Siffy. Yeah, Burso. Deep squats. Deep squats. Old Supreme Athel. I didn't know there was a Supreme Athel. I've heard of Gaelic. Heard of Elhain. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I had no idea. Hmm. That's kind of an interesting kit. I like the freeze. Man, that's a heck of a self buff. 50% increase attack, 30% increase crit rate, shield buff, 50% increase accuracy, and grants an extra turn. That's kind of cool. Okay. I mean, if I wasn't so desperate for freezer, I mean, she looks pretty good to me. You got Rio from. Oh man, Bursa, that's so sick. Yeah, I saw that. I you know, I'm starting to wonder in hindsight because I really want Riho. But I'm starting to wonder if it's mainly just because I know that I could put her in my clan boss team and it's absolutely awesome. Like I think that would be a component to get it to a 1 key. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure really where else I would use her immediately. I would have to probably look at her kit again. I do know she has one of the coolest, just straight up debuff skills, right? Where is she? Where's Riho? Yeah, places a stun, HP burn, decrease defense, weaken, decrease attack, and decrease crit rate. I mean, that's just so freaking sweet. Yeah, she's just a super cool champion. Riho's like Newt, and that's all I can see. Icky. You know, I've always found it interesting that YouTube decided to put like this little emoji thing on the bottom right of the chat, but then you can't see what's behind it. Such an odd place to have that. Block off people's senses. Really good for PV. Yeah, for sure. I mean that's plus the heals. I mean you can't go wrong there. I'm pretty sure I heard. Is it like a Sandal team or a Phantom Shogun team that uses her? Right, Angelica. Right. Like who decided that that was the perfect place? And I'm perfectly fine with if they leave that there, but then make like whatever message is on the same line as that. Just like pad it in a little bit, so that way it doesn't get blocked by it. Because then you can't see what's going on. Both. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I knew I've been told about some teams that are really effective with her, but I haven't seen the actual teams themselves. Got Vitreous. Mm. Vitreous the Anointed. Another champ it's wild to me that still to this day I come across champs I've never even seen or heard of. I don't think I've ever seen this guy. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh, this is he destroys enemy max HP. Feels like that's fairly rare. Yeah, because no one uses him, he hits like a wet noodle. I mean, that's interesting because like his ratings are all godlike on HH. I mean, yeah, could be. I'm having a real hard time understanding this though. Instantly resets the cooldown on one of this champion's random active skills. Random active skills. Does it mean instantly resets the cooldown of a random active skill? Of one of this champion's random active skills. It's just the way that's phrasing is kind of weird. Whenever an enemy increases the cooldown of any of their skills. So like if they use a skill, that increases the cooldown? Such a strange grants an extra turn if a skill's cooldown was reset. After granting an extra turn, places this skill on cooldown. Okay, well that's very straightforward. Will also grant an extra turn if an ally, mastery, artifact set, or accessory decreases the cooldown of any of this champion's skills. After granting an extra turn, places this skill on cooldown. I don't get it. Sounds like fun. Great job, Vitreous. Great job. Well done. Darn, pulled the second seer. Very nice. Very, very nice. That's another champ I'm still fingers crossed looking for one of these days. No energy for me. Oh, snap. I'm trying to get the silver. I gotta make sure I do my 3v3. I think I messed with my apothecary. Let me check. Well, that's a little unfortunate. A wee bit unfortunate. Isn't there a way to... I thought you could see it without the... There we go. Right. Okay. What's my fastest champ? My fastest champ is going to be my Arbiter. She is currently running 346, I want to say. Somewhere around there. Let me see. I need to get... to like 264 speed. Well, all right. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Fair play. That worked. That worked very, very effectively. All right, we're gonna... Oh, yeah. Okay. Somewhere we're gonna put one, just in case. Job done. That's it, boys. We're in the clear. We are in the clear. Yeah, I took Apothecary out of my arena speed tune, and just put Acerid in there because she's for Hydra already going fast enough to be all set. And then I realized for 3v3 arena that I would be using Arbiter and Acerid in the same team, and that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So Apothecary has snuck his way back in. He's definitely not in the most effective of builds, but he's good enough for the time being. Yours is only 324. I mean, 324 is a great speed. Yeah, I think she's currently in the fastest gear on my account by far. I guess that would preface being the fastest champion on my account. But I just mean to say that she doesn't. There's no other useful stats. It's just speed. She doesn't have the accuracy she needs for her weekend or anything. It's just pure speed. Nothing else. I don't really think I could fight any of these teams. I don't really know like how much leeway I have here. I just know I'm in the green, and that kind of worries me. Okay, we'll take it. Oh, his Armand went first. That's the GG's. Jellic, you have a second Armand's 520 accuracy, and the second one has 591 accuracy. That's not too shabby. Yeah, I think my Armand's is running 300 some odd speed, probably like 3 to 400 accuracy. Lose a couple of fights and find out. That's the problem. I'm not trying to find out. I'm not trying to find out. Like, I'm not trying to drop down again. What happened to Colren? Cole is checking on Le Bebo. And you know, taking a little breather. Taking a quick break. Okay, the number at the top tells you where you are currently ranked and how many can be in the tier. So you're saying that
I'm here, by the way. I'm just having lunch.
Le Bebo? Hello, Ace. How's it going? So, well, first off, what's for lunch?
Chicken Caesar salad.
Hey, brother. Share with the class. That sounds delicious.
It is.
Okay, so there's 5,348 people who can be in the tier. I'm currently number 1,306. I must be in the top 1,000 to rank up. I'm sorry, that confused me even more. So is it like if I'm 1 out of 5,348, I'm 1 point away from dropping down? Or okay, so I need to be above 1,000. Okay. That makes more sense because being in the top 1,000 would generally mean like my rank would be like 999 or lower in that case, is the way I was reading it. Gotcha. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. That makes more sense. How did Cole get my picture? You know, I made it publicly available, and this is what happens. Your friends troll you. If your number is green, you will rank up. Yeah, so I'm aware of that part of it. I know that if my number is green, I'll rank up. Problem is I don't know how much leeway I have, right? So now I know that I have 306 spots of leeway. So if later on that's dropping down to 1015, let's say, like, oh shoot, I got to be really careful with my points. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with that side of it, just the red, yellow, green. But I was going to get a little bit more specific, and that gave me the information I needed. I think we just try to find every team on this page. They're all 200s. It's not too shabby. That's an honorable goal, Dest. Clean up champs, clean up gear, put in masteries and blessings. Pretty much you're just rebuilding the account is what you're telling me. I wish you the best of luck and focus. I did that the other day, and now I'm not doing that for a reason. Well, Duel, you know, I think you just got a little bit ahead of the game there. Congratulations. First ancient shard on the account and got a Trunda. Darth with the Trunda is a Vault Guardian. Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Never gonna use her anywhere. I mean, I think you can, if you're that early in your account, well, first off, you probably still want to get your starter champ to 6-star first. Go with that. But yeah, like Cole just said, Arena, Hydra, Doom Tower. Is there any, I mean, especially early on, is there any place you wouldn't use her? I mean, you can use her in Spider. She's got AoEs. Right? Doesn't she have an HP burn too? So you could probably use her there. Yeah, she's a fantastic champion. It's a great pull. What happened to my speed tune? Yes, she does, but then you need to build her with accuracy. Yeah, but I'm thinking, you know, early on in an account. You know, if she's not focused on something like Hydra and just being an absolute DPS beast, if you're trying to get the most effect out of her, there's no reason not to build her with some accuracy. I mean, getting an early, like, full stun, full HP burn on spider waves, that's gonna carry you far and quickly. That'd be pretty sick. Ooh, let's not play with the Georgia Hefrak team. Thank you, but no thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Des. I mean, early on, you're always going to be limited to what kind of gear you actually have access to, but I also think you're kind of in a way able to be more flexible because you really just want to make as much use of every available champion that you have in as many places as possible. Especially those like first early 6 stars. I mean, you want those champs to be everywhere. I think the Mithril is going to be a problem in this one. Nope, it's going to be the Stone Skin UDK. Cleanse it? Nope. Unfortunate. Ladies and gentlemen, that's GG.
Tell you doing 3v3 arena before, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to silver potentially today.
Nice.
Potentially.
I've been demoted. I've been demoted each of the last 2 weeks again.
And then I'll get another void shard, but I don't think that's going to be in time. In hindsight. But you said you got devoted?
Yeah, I think I'm all the way back to platinum. I'm all the way back to bronze 4, I think, or bronze
All
3
the way
even.
back to platinum.
Bronze 4.
Unfortunate.
Bronze 4. I was at silver 3 and pushing for silver 4, and I'm now back at bronze 4 because, and I might get demoted again for all I because it's just like let me see. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like it's about time, having time in the last 48 hours and focus to do it, and just haven't had it recently.
Yeah, I mean, I rebuilt my arena teams a little bit during this gear event.
Yeah.
But just remembering to take out my one-man defense at a decent time frame, I think is really what's going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, there's that. And then even if you do remember to take it out and put in a real defense, you still have to play. Like, and you have to play the offense, enough. And usually it takes, like 30 or 40 battles to go from all the way at the bottom to getting promoted. So you have to do it over more than one day, or you have to have several stacks of token.
Go, robots, go. Got him. Easy W's. No problem.
That's a very fast Genbo. That Genbo was running like 270 speed.
John says best thing to do after a chicken Caesar salad is a good gear cleanse. And I have just the account for you.
Well played, sir.
Well played indeed. Man, that's a good one. Hand me that account, buddy. I'll take care of that gear, no problem.
Select all, delete. So, there you go.
We're gonna cleanse that gear.
Can't tell you how many times I've been tempted to do that on my own account. Just literally like take all my pieces and sell them.
Yeah, I think I have less than 400 pieces now after my last gear cleanse. Feels so good. Feels so
I-
good.
I've got like 1,850 pieces.
Oh no, dude, I couldn't. How can you possibly?
Which is, of course, more than I have spots for. So I've got 360 in my mailbox.
Yeah, of course. Didn't they increase the number?
Yeah,
of
it was
artifacts you
It was
can hold, too?
1,300 for a long time, and then they increased it to 1,500. I mean,
And you were like, let me fill that up too. What are you ever gonna do with all those pieces?
so if you think about it this way, there's something like 27 gear sets in the game now. You know, there's so many different gear sets. So if you have 60 pieces of each set, that's it. That's all you get. You know, and there are sets with like perception where you want like 200 or 300 pieces. You know what I mean? So it's like, I actually don't. I have 0 pieces of like 10 different sets.
Yeah, I was about to say, because that's definitely not the case. You know, it's like what you want, like maybe one good frost set or something like that. Like if that.
Yeah, but like if I go show you, I'll show you my gear right now. It's like, all right, so speed. You know, there's speed, right? Like, okay, I don't have much in terms of crit rate, but
like 300 speed pieces, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
You know, it's like, okay, regen's a set where you're constantly hunting for pieces. And just like, you know, when I was rebuilding my clan boss team just recently, it's like, oh, hey, you know, you go dipping in and you realize you still don't have the pieces you need. You know, it's like I have 1,500 pieces, really good gear, and I still don't have the pieces I need. You know, so it's like,
I wonder if that's another thing, because I got rid of any middling gear.
Yeah.
But at some point, like even the good gear stacks up, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
like if you look through my perception gear, there isn't
unrolled gear. What?
There isn't a bad piece. Yeah, but like unrolled 6-star speed boots, I don't need to roll them. I don't need to roll these.
No, I'm not talking about the 6-star speed boots. I'm talking about every other piece that's unrolled.
Well, do you know when I got these pieces? You know what I mean? Like, what would I roll? What would I roll them for? What would I roll them for?
Scroll back up, and I guarantee you, first off, perception, you would have gotten it out of the forge, so it's not like you farmed it recently, unless you did it during CVC. But then there's plenty of other sets that have unrolled pieces. And I would argue the reason that you roll them is so that you know whether or not you should keep them. Right?
Yeah, but rolling them takes silver.
Yeah. And by selling the pieces of gear that don't roll, you continue with silver.
If you roll a piece to 8, you can't sell it for, you know, so like, all right, let's look at, it doesn't matter. Let's look at a piece. Let's look at a piece of resilience here. All right, so speed, HP, and accuracy. All right, so let's see how much it would sell for. 64,000. Okay.
Yeah, so that piece, I would roll it once and see if it hit speed. If it didn't hit speed, it's gone.
Why? If it hits accuracy, it might be good.
Yeah, but if it hits accuracy, I can use a different set or a different piece with accuracy.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't use this piece or this piece doesn't have value.
It does. It does to me, really. And the reasoning in my mind is,
all right, that's 10,000.
Just can't have that many pieces. Gotta
61,000 just to get to my second roll. I've used up all of the silver for this piece. Right? Yeah. So now I can say, okay, now if I got a double roll into speed, would it be worth holding on to? Right?
Maybe.
Like, all right, so now let's do that. Let's do that. All right, and it went into accuracy. It's not a bad piece, not a great piece. Let me see. I gotta take you out of the way here.
Yeah, I can't even see what the stats are.
So all right. So I rolled once into speed. It was my first roll, which means I was gonna roll a second time. If I had gotten a double roll into speed, could have been valuable. This could still go like on a faction crypt champion or whatever. But it took 197,000 to do my third roll. So it took me 260,000 to get to this point. If now I'm like, oh, you know what? It's really not worth holding on to. let me go and sell this piece.
Yeah, but you should have never gotten to that third roll.
Why not?
Well, because it for me, if I have that piece and I roll it once and it hits speed, great. I'll roll it again to 8. Then if it hits not speed, it's gone.
It doesn't need to be a triple speed roll to be valuable.
No, but it has to be at least a double speed roll for me in order to be kept in the resilience set.
Okay, but the third roll could land in speed.
Yeah, but I don't really care about it at that point. Particularly exactly for the reason that you're talking about with the silver. I can't possibly get enough to do that for every piece. So at that point, if it just doesn't get there, then it's gone. This is
you just liking boxes and boxes. This is like you wrote down some rules and you're like, I'm gonna follow the rules. Like this piece
true in a sense.
This piece either you shouldn't roll it at all. You should just sell it. Or you should roll for the possibility that it's going to be useful, and as long as there's a possibility that it's going to be useful, you keep rolling. You don't call the number of rolls based on some arbitrary like outside thing. It's like if it has a chance, if I roll speed and then HP, but a double roll could be valuable, then I roll it, right? If I don't want to risk that, then I shouldn't even hold on to it. I should just sell it. Which is fine. Like I'm at the point where what I really need to do is I need to compare the pieces that I've rolled against the pieces that I haven't rolled. Like the question shouldn't be, is this piece valuable? It's, is the value of this piece already duplicated in my account? Yeah. Right? Yeah, so and I have this.
I do that for my pieces, yeah.
You know, it's like these two pieces are very similar. This is resistance, defense, and speed. This is resistance, speed, and accuracy. But this one's better because it has a double roll into speed, and this one has 1 into everything. So it's not enough resistance to really make the difference, right? This is 21. This is 22. This has more speed, plus it has accuracy. So this little bit of defense actually isn't as good as this piece. And I'm not likely to need both of these pieces in the near future, so I can sell this piece because the other one duplicates its value, but actually does it better.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
That takes time.
Yeah.
What time do I have to do that shit?
True.
When am I going to do that? I mean, like, am I going to actually compare?
That's a different question.
And we're talking about 1,500 pieces, of which probably 900 are rolled. So I got to compare all of it. It's like, no, God, no, I don't want to do that.
I did that. But see, so I just took a day and I did it, and then I got it down to like 300 pieces, and now every single time that I farm dungeons or I do anything gear related, I wait till the next artifact enhancement. I have at most like 100 to 150 pieces to go through, and I just do it right then and there during that artifact enhancement. I level every piece up that I think is rollable. I get rid of every other piece that isn't. I end up gaining maybe like 5 or 6 pieces out of 150, and I get it all done in like 20 minutes.
And do that for another 2.5 years, and then tell me what your gear looks like. It's like, it's you get to the part, like, here's the other thing, which is crazy, is if you look at the gear, if you look at the gear and you go here and you turn on the filter and you hit equip, right? I've got 2,700 pieces of gear, right? So I've got 1,500 here, but I've got 1,200 on champion. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, right. So it's like you're constantly putting gear onto champion.
Tackle that beast yet?
Yeah, and it's just, so it's like, it's not just the gear you have; it's the gear that you have on the champions. Do you remove it? Do you save it? Do you trash it? Like, how good is it? Is it worth like repurposing for another champion? So I mean, here's the thing: like, I have god tier gear. I don't mean collectively. I mean, I have some pieces that are considered god tier gear. And maybe I have 150 of those god tier pieces. And those god tier pieces exist, like they're all basically on champions. There are a few of them that aren't rolled up yet or aren't like applied yet. But you don't get rid of them because they're god tier. And eventually you're going to pull somebody. You're like, that's got to go on somebody, So I don't know. Maybe it's like, like I've got this piece. It's got triple crit rate. roll, and it's like, all right, so it doesn't have speed on it. That's a really awkward piece, but it's still a triple crit rate roll. I'm like, do I chuck it? Do I not? It's like, so you get this thing where it's like, this is a situation like awaiting a solution, but the longer you wait for it, the more problems it causes. And what I have told people before, I've said it in videos, I've said it in takeovers, is like, when you delete gear, you'll almost never regret it. Like, you'll very rarely think back, oh, I wish I didn't delete that point, that piece of gear. So, what I need to do is I need to spend some time. Usually when I do gear cleanses, I try to take 5 or 10 minutes, get rid of 50 pieces, and I'm usually able to do that. And but like an actual gear cleanse takes all day. And I don't have a day. I don't have an hour. So it's like, it's just a very painful part of the game for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe for my own gear, because I know what I have, like I can quickly, when glancing through it, know what I have in other sets and stuff that, matches close enough, that I can much more quickly delete stuff. But I'm also very cruel to my gear. Right along the lines of what you said, where I don't think you'll ever really regret getting rid of gear. For me, if I have to stop and question, should I keep this piece, or where would I actually ever use this piece? It's just gone, and I just don't even bother.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually super cold.
Faster.
I'm super cold with gear when I get it. If you just saw me in Centranos, like, I sold all of those pieces. They're merciless pieces and supersonic pieces. Yep. I'm just selling. It's like, if they're not perfect, I'm selling them.
Yep.
And so what that means is when I go to do a gear cleanse, every piece of gear that's in my inventory has already been selected for. They're all good pieces of gear. I don't have bad gear in my inventory.
But just having substats doesn't mean that it's good gear. I mean, it could have, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and then flat HP, and then hits flat HP twice. Like, that gear probably compared to any other piece that has the same substats that you already have rolled that hit any of the stats you actually want. Like, it's
but those pieces get sold.
Yeah,
exactly. I sell those pieces, and I still have 1,500 pieces. I'm pulling in, say, I don't know, in a single
are unrolled currently?
In a single rotation of Centranos, you get something like 100 pieces of Merciless and Supersonic, and then you've got your gear drops from Hydra. You're getting your protection and your stone skin, and then you've got all the forge materials. I'm forging all the time because I'm trying to stay under 10,000 silver bars, so I'm constantly using. And it's like, out of every 100 pieces I forge in the forge, maybe there are 5 usable pieces, and it's like, those 5 pieces are a pain in my ass. Because now I have to roll them, and now I have to decide whether, they stay or not. And let's say every week I forge, I don't know, 200 pieces of gear, and out of those I keep 10, and out of those 10 I roll, I keep 1. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, that means in a month time, like, my inventory has crept up with really, really good pieces. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're. So now what I have to do is I have to compare the new pieces against the old.
That's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 4 pieces from the Forge. It's 4 pieces from Dungeons. It's 4 pieces from Centranos. It's 4 pieces. It's 2 pieces from Clan Boss. It's 2 pieces from Hydra Clan Boss. So every week there's another 20 excellent or god tier pieces of gear that make it into my inventory. And it's like. And you don't know which god tier pieces are going to be the ones you need. So for instance, like, sometimes this is the thing that annoys the heck out of me. I get a lot of attack based, really good pieces. It's got attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, speed. And it rolls, double crit rate, double crit damage or something. You're like, that's awesome. Great. But I only need 20 of those pieces, like, for my entire roster. Whereas I have been looking for an upgrade in the crit damage set for Genbo for 18 months. I've been looking for one piece. I need an upgrade on his helmet. And in 18 months, I haven't gotten a single upgradable piece for his helmet. You know, and it's like, really? Or like I need HP with speed and accuracy in regen. Like HP main stat gloves with speed and accuracy, you know, in regen. 5 stars, sure. Get 5 stars all the time. 6 stars? Like, you know, I'll get 1 every 6 months. Yeah. So it's like, it's, you know, you get this good gear and it rolls right, but you don't have the champions to put it onto because you don't actually need that many good pieces in that particular set or in that particular like stat combination. And so I end up with pieces that are like god tier pieces that I can't use yet. Now I've got a Candrafon sitting waiting to be geared, so it's not like I couldn't just go and build him and put some pieces on him and whatever, but it's like that also takes time. And then I have to think through the process then and all that, you know? So it's like, it's just the gear system in this game is problematic. And I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying there isn't an approach to it. I don't want to be like, no, I can't do it. Of course you can. Right? But the longer you play the game, the harder it is to manage and the more time it takes. And I think that they just need to revamp the way gear is done. First of all, the easiest solution would just be allowing free regearing all the time. Because then I don't need 1,500 god tier pieces. I need 150 god tier pieces. And then I can swap them on different champions. You know, like, but they don't want to do that because then that potentially reduces their income, right? Because then you're not buying gear sets. You know, so it's like, but we need a better solution to gear, because if this game goes another 5 years, they're going to introduce another 20 sets. You know, they're going to slowly, like you'll have 2,000, you know, spaces in your inventory. It's just going to be impossible. You have to mule so many pieces. You know, you just have to. And that takes silver. So it's just a pain in the butt. It's just a pain in the butt. And I don't like the gearing aspect. I love the gear sets. I like the combos that you can use. I think that like it's really cool. But man, just this is why like I just stopped doing gear cleanses for other people's like takeovers like for the last couple of months, because it's so time intensive for so little reward. You know, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
It's just reminding you of all the gear that you have to go through. Every piece is a piece you could have been cleansed on your own account.
Yeah. What I really need to do is I need to find like 4-hour blocks of time for like 5 consecutive days and just literally pare down, because I bet I could probably get rid of like 400 pieces out of the 1,500 pieces. I could probably get down to like 11 or 1,200.
I think if you were mean to it, you could get down to like 800.
Dude, I'm incredibly mean to it. I am. I'm way colder than most people are. Absolutely. But I think that I think it just collects too fast. It just collects way too fast. You don't mule gear, Iggy? Gear all the champs you use, then see what you have left. All the champs I use are geared. I can't use them without gear. Sun needs to do a gear cleanse for me. That would be an interesting video. What do you think, Sun? You want to do a gear cleanse on my account?
Brother, you don't want to see what I'll do to that gear.
I actually really do. I want to see you struggle with it.
Oh, I won't struggle. It's you're gonna have 500 pieces on your account, pristine pieces, and then you're gonna be real mad.
I think, you know, I've said this before, but I'm like, if they gave me 1 billion silver, I don't think I could roll up all the gear that I've got. You know, it's like, I'm like, what? Like the silver requirements are such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but that's another part of why, like for me, when I'm so cruel to my gear, it's also because a lot of it is just I just need the silver to roll up the other pieces of gear that I'm not being cruel
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like right now I have 373 pieces of gear, and every single piece is leveled to at least 8 for rare and 12 for epic and legendary.
So what do you do when an artifact enhancement rolls around?
So in between artifact enhancements, I don't touch gear. So then I, the gear that I farm through Fire Knight, through whatever dungeons I'm running in between the artifacts enhancements, then that's all the gear that I have to go through.
Yeah, but that's what I do, and I only do it during fusions. So it's like you get 3 artifact enhancements during fusions. Typically, it only takes, you don't have to do all 3. Like for the third one, I'm just leveling up crap gear and selling it, or like forging gear and rolling it up and selling it. And the rest of the time I don't. And it's like, but
if I run out of pieces, then I start leveling the pieces that are 12.
If we have 2.5 weeks off, between a fusion, like we have this time. There's a long gap between fusions. It's 3 weeks between fusions. I'll collect 300 pieces of worthwhile gear to roll up. Like that's what happens. So it's like I don't have 300 spaces. Like and clearing down to 300 spaces every time. Like if you did that once and then you rolled up those 300 pieces of gear, if you keep 5 of those pieces, that's 5 pieces, like 5, spots you don't have next time. Honestly, the best gear cleanse that I get on a regular basis is when I build a new champion. Because I'm like, oh, there are 9 pieces of gear, right? 6 artifacts, 3 accessories going on that champion. I was like, that's awesome. That feels great. It's like I put them and then I'm like, hey, I've got a couple of spots to play around with. It's like, but how many 6 stars do you build every month? A few, just a few, maybe 3. It's like, all right. So I don't know, man. I like the advice that people like you are giving me is all stuff that I do. It's all stuff that I do. It's just to the things that I don't do, the things that I don't actually get to are things I don't have time for. And like this game already sucks out so much time. Like the extra time for gear is just a pain. And I've thought about like what I could do. Honestly, I could go to my resilience set and sell 100% of my resilience pieces. I've done that in the past. I've done that for like I did that for cursed. I did that for reflex. Like I did that for good sets. I could go through all my relentless and sell like everything that doesn't have a double roll in speed. Like I could do that, but it's a temporary fix. It's a really temporary fix because those spots will just get filled up again really quickly. So.
Oh boy, I forgot what it's like to not have my Shamail.
Is this your second team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I have 2 Shamails and built at 6 stars, and I was running my third team, and I'm like, this is a pain in the butt. It's like, he's such a perfect solution for that. I put Rector Drath onto the third team, and that helped a little bit, but really, you need a Duchess or something.
Oh, right. It's the stupid Poison Cloud head. Okay. Yeah, I need a better second team.
So, are you one keying all 3 difficulties now?
No, so I have my kind of quote unquote main team
For brutal.
For brutal, and then I have my secondary team here.
And you don't have a third team?
I don't have a third team yet, no.
Gotcha.
Pretty much the secondary team will turn into the third team at some point.
Yeah, I'm trying to find 3 teams for Hydra right now because I have champions for 3 teams, no problem. I have the champions, but it's like the particular combination of champions that I'm trying to find. And what it feels like is, you know, every week I'm running short on time, and I'm trying to do my keys, and I'm like, I just do the nightmare key or the brutal key. Like I just get the top key in, and then I throw something together for normal, and I just let it auto battle, and it's like trying to find the teams has been a little bit tricky. I've got several good leads that are like coming up. Like Nekmothar is going to be built pretty soon, so he'll be key. And now that I've got Harima and Mikage, like I'm thinking about that combo.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too shabby.
Somebody was talking about Oboro earlier, so I could do that too. That would be kind of interesting with Mikage. Sun doesn't have a Harima. I do.
I do not have an arena. This is true. Unfortunate.
I have pulled so many good champions on my main account in the last 9 or 10 months that I have not really gotten to full power. Like my Newt is built. My Archer, Nair Gigante Archer, is now built. But I'm like, if I'm thinking about all of the champions like that I fused over the last year, like most of the fusions aren't really built. Armand's is built. I'm trying to think of how many like new legendaries I've really pushed. Lady Kimmy. But you know, I've probably built 20 legendaries this year. Or I'm sorry, I've probably pulled 20 legendaries this year. And I've built like 5 or 6 of them. I've built a bunch of epics though. I have built a bunch of epics. Yeah, Brick, I have the same. I have a bunch of champions. They're just sitting at 50. Good champions too. And sometimes I just build a champion for like champion training or you know, like a CVC or something. Like I just do it to get points, and I have no purpose for the champion. Like I have nothing to do with them. I just build them because I need the points. So I built them. Look at you. You got all 4 heads decapitated?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Temporarily.
Yeah. That's when you need Trunda. That massive AoE nuke.
Yeah, that would be freaking sweet. Oh.
I gotta say, I'm really excited for my my Nair Gigante Archer rebuild. her new build is so sick.
Have you used her much?
Just a little bit. I've used her a little bit in Arena. And I'll use her in Hydra this week. But yeah, she's nasty in Arena. She like she never gets banned in Arena. Nobody thinks to ban her. And she's such a good control champion. She's not quite Armand, but she's not that far off. Like in terms of, you have her in Relentless, she's got a provoke on one skill. She's got an AoE provoke on one skill. She's got an AoE stun on another. And with Relentless, if you get 1 proc in 3 rounds, you get back to that AoE. Like, and if you're fast, you'll have 100% uptime on your crowd control. She's sick. It's really hard to deal with. And so, like, if you're looking for another control champion, like, you know, if you don't have an Armands, or if you do have Armands, but you know Armands is going to get banned, you know, it's like you can just put her in that role, and she actually does a very good job. I mean, there are other champions that also do a great job, you know, but she is one of those that's like, for multiple round fights, it's hard to match her level of control. I don't know if there's anybody else that I've seen who has that level of control, like, continuously, you know? Other than Armand. Now, if you have like a Yumiko team, that could be a thing, you know, where it's like, okay, I've got double Yumiko, and it's like, all right, well, then who cares? You know, it's like, yeah.
Starting to think my Rector might not have gear on.
I have Archer on both accounts, Brick. I got Archer on my main and my free to play, and my challenge account rather. What would you say, son?
But I'm starting to think my Rector might not have gear on. The back to back to back resists. I'm pretty sure, because she got removed from my main team. Pretty sure that might be what's happening right now.
No gear.
Yeah, it's got. Well, that one could be just bad luck, I guess. Oh shoot! I shouldn't have done that.
You got a number in mind you're shooting for?
If I can get to over 15 to 20 million, I think that's going to be.
This is
I
normal.
think for the Hydra Clash, I need to get up to that range from the points that I had before on Brutal.
To get the next chest.
Mm-hmm. I honestly, I don't remember exactly. I probably should have checked that before, but I'm just gonna keep going till I can't go any further, and I should be good. Should be being the keyword there. Rude. You walk into my house, you eat my Rector Drath.
Yeah, Darren, you can use them together, and I sometimes do. I mean, I try to use them together, but usually, you know, Armand's gets banned.
See, when they banned my Armands, the mistake they made is they didn't ban my Warlord.
Yeah, you have that 1-2 punch too. It's hard to get away from that, you know. That's one of the things. It's like it's hard to fight against teams like that in the arena. I come up against that all the time. I'm like, I just don't have the champions to match, you know. It's like I can't ban you out, and I don't have the champions to match you, so I just gotta hope you mess up.
Yep.
And even then, sometimes it's like they have so much more power than I do that even when they mess up, it doesn't. Like, come on. I mean, on the one hand, it feels good when I win because I feel like I usually win on skill, not on roster, you know?
Yeah, that's always nice.
I'm at that point where I have to solo Agrith. It's like I can beat her just fine, but auto battles don't work anymore. $12 million, man. You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm holding in there.
Even with your ungeared Rector Trap.
Yeah, yeah.
That's too funny.
Gear
Do you think she has no gear or she has like 3 random pieces left or something?
I think she may have 2 or 3 random pieces. I'm honestly starting to wonder. Either that or she has all of her gear and I just got really unlucky. Back to back to back. I mean, that's entirely possible as well, I suppose. Does he have a... Oh, I hate it when the... it was... They stacked on me and I couldn't see that he didn't. He had the anti-heal. That's unfortunate.
I just realized I'm running this without a reviver, so I can't let anybody die. Like, oh. A problem. Everybody died. But the boss is at like 5%. So the question is, can I kill this boss with Cardiel and Shiramani? I think I can.
You can do it.
There we go. That's tougher than it needed to be.
I know that feeling.
I think I'm gonna come up one short on this forge pass too. Like I was in the
Really?
hospital.
Aw.
Yeah, and I missed like 4 days in a row. I didn't do any of them, and I came back and I was counting it out, and I think I'm gonna get to 49 out of 50 again. That happened to me
Didn't the
on
same
the
thing happen to you last time?
yeah, it happened to me on the HH challenge account.
Yeah.
This new Cardiel build is great, but it takes some getting used to. Because like one of the things that I noticed is having him so fast means he's faster than my Deacon now, so I don't have decreased defense when he goes on his ally attack. I'm like, oh, well, that's a difference. So it's actually harder to assassinate people with the ally attack than it used to be, despite the fact that he's going like 60 speed faster. $15 million, still going.
Still going strong. Yeah, the team seems to be holding together surprisingly well. Considering it's a bunch of misfits.
What's the like key to your failure? You know, like do you know like what the condition is that'll break your team?
No. I mean, for normal in this particular case, I don't know that there is.
So who are your damage dealers?
Wukong and Geo. And Brogni, in a sense.
Yeah, so you got enough damage that if any of them get devoured, you should be able to unlock it with the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if I get hit like with a really just awful awful wave of RNG, that would probably end the run. Like if I, get taunted into Wrathhead with like fears on everybody and I can't you just can't do anything, then yeah, that could be problematic. But otherwise, and I think I'm fairly in the clear. Oh, that's not.
Shamil is for the head of torment. But yeah.
Yeah. That's who I have on my main team. It's gonna buy 2 turns. Yeah.
Yeah, Hydra doesn't do more damage over time. They just devour more quickly, and then they whatever it's called, like devour is when you get grabbed and then you get digested or something, and you get digested more quickly.
Yeah.
And it becomes very
Now it's on
fast.
2-turn cycle right now. That's
Yeah. But if you can match the speed and free, the heads, like then you have an infinite team. Then you just go until the turn limit. And that's really the goal for a lot of players, is just to get to the turn limit, because if you do that, you max out your damage. So it's possible. It's actually, players do it all the time. I did it for the first time like 2 weeks ago. Hit the turn limit on on brutal, I think. Or maybe it was hard. Yeah, I don't think it was brutal. I think it might have been hard. But it doesn't have that passive like Clan Boss does, where every 10 rounds it gets harder. Doesn't do that. How many Mithrala fragments do you have, Don?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I know I'm starting to get fairly close. I'm probably maybe 2 months out, a month or 2. I'll double check after this. I'm actually kind of curious myself now.
Yeah, it's my relationship to Hydra has changed. It's like, I feel so differently about it now than I did like even 3 months ago. But
How so?
I understand the fight better. And
Fair enough.
what originally was my relationship with Hydra was I just wanted Mithrala. I didn't care about Hydra at all. I was like, I don't want it, but now I feel the obligation to do it because of Hydra Clash. I want the accessories because there are cool builds out there that you can get when you have the accessories. So like I feel a need to fight the fight. I don't mind the team building aspect of it. I kind of like it. I don't mind manualing the fight every once in a while, but it's the time investment that's the problem. And it's kind of the same thing with like gear. Like I like the number of gear sets they have. Same thing here. I like the Hydra fight. Like there's a lot to it. The tactical aspect of it is kind of fun and cool. But just the fact that, it's really hard to auto battle it. You have to manual a lot of it. And it just takes several hours every week. And they do stupid things like they have daily quests where you have to use a Hydra key. It's like, but since doing the HH free to play challenge, like On day 85, I pulled down 41 million on hard mode Hydra. You know, like that's stupid. That felt stupid. It felt like that shouldn't happen. And granted, like there are reasons why it happened. You know what I mean? It's like, but like when I put my team together on that account, I'm like, holy cow. You know, it's like it really does feel like if you get 3 or 4 specific champions, Hydra's a breeze. And if you don't, Hydra's a giant pain in the butt. I don't love that. I don't love that, you know, for new players. But on my main account now, I look at it and I'm like, this should be an easy fight for me on every difficulty. Like I should be able to do this on every difficulty really easily and contribute to my Hydra Clash, you know, score for my clan. And so that's what I've been, you know, wanting to work on. And it's just a matter of, again, getting the time and investing it. So,
yep.
But Necmo's coming. Archer's rebuilt. I've got Harima coming up. You know, we've got Lady Mikage now. It's going to be interesting. I've got Razzlevarg built. He's ready to go.
Yeah, for me, it also took like when I started doing the brutal and like actually building a team for it and just understanding what all the heads do.
Yeah,
that just makes so much of a difference too.
Yeah, definitely. And when I did my Hydra guide, like that helped. That helped me learn the fight a little bit better. But then I didn't keep it up. I didn't keep playing it. You know, so it helped when I was doing the HH free to play challenge that last week. Just really sitting there trying to manual the fight and get an extra 5 million. You know, it's like, what can you do? How can you tweak your team? How can you do this? You know, and like learning all the interactions, being like, oh, if you take this away, then this happens, and if you add this, then this happens. And even just like the turn order being like, oh, you know, anticipating when a head is going to become decapitated and what's that going to do to the other heads and what's that going to allow your team to do and how do you get the maximum damage here? And oh, you know, it's like, I don't want to just fight the regular heads. I also want to fight the decapitated heads. How do I get the maximum value out of that? And, you know, so like all the little nuances in the skill order and stuff like that was kind of cool to get into. So I understand the fight a lot better now than I did, you know, last month. John Hodgson, congrats. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Darth, that's how I was doing it for a long time. Like once I got Mithrala, I just throw in a team occasionally and let it auto battle, and whatever it got, that's what it got, you know. And I didn't really push. I never pushed Nightmare. It's like I had a full auto brutal 1 key. And granted, it was like 30 to 40 million or whatever it is. It was just like barely a 1 key. You know, not a huge 1 key. But I was like, meh. So I'll run that occasionally. Some weeks I wouldn't even run Hydra. Or I would throw away the keys. They'd have that daily quest, and I'd just be like, I'd do like 1 attack and then click end fight, you know, and I would take 20 seconds to run a key.
Oh yeah, definitely been there and done that one.
Have a good one, Darren.
Yeah, in fact, that's what happened to my 3rd key this week.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this one. Bagpuss says he's watching the Runekeeper video. Greatest thumbnail to date. I agree.
Great thumbnail, great video, great champion. Absolutely fantastic.
Fun times.
Wondering if I can get another Void Shard before the end of the event.
If I stay up till 2 a.m. in the morning today, I can get another one. And 1 more at reset.
I cannot. I don't think I can get another Void Shard.
I don't think I want to do that.
Well, Clan Boss reset is at 5 a.m., I think, right? So we don't get the Clan Boss chest before the event ends.
No. Yeah, I get one more at Doom Tower reset, which is in like what, 4 hours.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
then
I'd get one tomorrow.
and I can get one more somewhere else. I'm trying to remember where.
You gonna do this Soulstone rush?
With the soul stones I have? Yes. I had one soul stone and I pulled it.
Okay.
Just to get the energy. It's one of the middle ones.
I have 57 mortals and 4 immortals, and I kind of feel like pulling, but it's not a 2 times event. You know, now they have these 2 times events. So I'm like, maybe I should hold it for a 2 times. I should. I absolutely should hold it. But are there Titan points attached? There are no Titan points attached to it, I don't think.
Ooh, that might be under. Okay. Oof.
All right, so that's easier to avoid then. I don't need to pull it. There's no 2 times event. I'll wait for a 2 times event. Last time I pulled during 2 times event, I got some good souls. I got good value on souls.
To be honest, I forgot that they do 2 times events now. If I thought about that, I probably wouldn't have pulled.
Yeah.
But that's all right. At the end of the world. Like I said, I had one.
Yeah.
You know, I had one in a dream of a 6-star Siffy soul.
That would have been crazy luck, dude.
That would have
if
been
literally you hit the Siffy and then you know what's funny though?
Soul.
This has happened like 3 or 4 times to me now where you've hit a champion and I've logged into my account the next day and there's a soul in the shop for the champion that you hit.
Yeah. Right.
It happened for Warlord. It happened for Siffy. It happened for somebody else. It might have happened for Brogni. It's happened several times. You're like, I pulled the champion. I'm like, I have the soul. You want it? It'd be great. I wish I could trade it to you.
Yeah, that does seem to happen very often.
The day of the Armand's soul thing, you know, the Titan event for his soul, the day that popped, and Armand's 1-star perfect soul popped in my shop. I was like, yeah, not gonna buy that. How many star souls do you have for your Armand?
4-star, I believe.
Yeah, me too.
See, the problem with those things is, so I made the mistake of doing that during the Rathalos event, where I bought the 1-star soul because I saw it, and then they did the path or like the Titan event.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Eastrid, I had her in the shop and I didn't buy her, and then they didn't do the same kind of Titan event. Now it was just a 5-star soul.
Right.
So like they keep switching, so it's problematic.
Yeah, I did. I bought a Rathalos 1-star soul and then got the 4-star soul. So that was disappointing.
Yeah.
And then for Astrid, I don't have a soul at all because I didn't do the event. I might have. Did I find a 1-star? I did. I got a 1-star in the shop, so I've got a 1-star for her waiting when I summon her.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed out on that. I'm gonna smack that guy just because we want to. Sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you got two times Armands. That's the crazy thing. That's like, will happen. People will get +4 Armandses. They'll get 2nd Armandses, 3rd Armandses. Like, he's just available from a shard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that.
I mean, the funny thing is, I think he actually, in a way, gets less OP snacking him. So at least it doesn't synergize well with himself.
I
Which
think
is
beyond 2, you're right. In arena, you don't need more than 2. But you
yeah, but
want
even like
2.
on a single team, I
No,
don't know
I
if
think you absolutely want 2,
on a
especially for
single
live
team.
arena, because if you pick one, he's going to get banned.
Well, yeah. But I
You know,
mean,
so
like
if you have
when you're
2,
in game, if you have two, because like part of his rotation is that he steals the turn meter, and that's what allows him to get back around. But
right?
so if the first guy steals the turn meter, and then the second guy goes, there's no turn meter to steal, so he's gonna fall off of that rotation, that cycle for his skills. Um, so I think in that sense, he doesn't synergize well with himself because he can't steal more than you can steal
Right,
turn meter.
but
Doesn't exist.
usually the enemy will get a turn unless you're going so much faster than them that you come back around to your turn meter steal again before they go.
Well, no, because if you hit him, right, if Armand's hits him, he stuns him and steals their turn meter. They're not going. They're not hardly even getting turn meter. And then your Armand's is gonna go, your second one, and he's gonna hit an already stunned team that has 0 turn meter.
Yeah, but that's just an AI issue. You just don't hit with your A2. You know, you just A1 one round and then on the next one you A2.
You expect me to play Raid Shadow Legends, buddy?
I mean, if you alternate, you know,
I press
A2s,
go
they'll
and
they'll
it
never
wins
go.
or it loses.
But I think you know there are a bunch of reasons to have 2 Armands, not the least of which is like PvE content, right? Like building one for PvE content versus PvP content. But yeah, 2 Armands is ridiculous. It makes most dungeons a joke. Like even 1 Armand makes a lot of dungeons a joke.
Makes them a joke, yeah.
Colred is very loud. I am loud.
Cole is very loud, and they're saying I'm quiet comparatively.
I'll turn him up, but he used to be really loud. I'll turn me down a little bit.
Brother.
Tell me if that's any better.
I don't know what you're talking about. Calling me loud.
I mean, there are a whole bunch of issues. One, I have a good microphone, and he has a crap headset that he loves but won't get rid of. 2, I project. I use my voice.
Mm-hmm.
The mellow sounds of Colred Blaze. And then the third thing is he's coming through my Discord. So
Yeah. I'm 3 layers deep over here.
Bagpuss Cat says, "Oh my god, I have so much to learn about speed tuning. The Runekeeper video is awesome. As always, your content is well explained for a newer player. Thank you. I hope your new addition is keeping you busy." Yeah, he is. Thank you. And yeah, that's right. We included quite a bit of speed tuning in that video. Speed tuning is a skill that I think players, especially new players, kind of want to avoid. It's almost like a reluctance to get into speed tuning. Right? It's like an emotional burden. It's like, nah, I don't want to learn that much. I don't want to try that hard. And it's not. It's not really that hard. Right? It's just sort of committing to the fact that speed tuning is part of the game. And getting good at it, especially early on, just massively improves your ability to perform well everywhere. I mean, you can speed tune any team. Like it doesn't just have to be a clan boss team or an arena team. So you know, like my Dark Fae solution is speed tuned. My Iron Twin solution is speed tuned. My Sand Devil's Necropolis solution is speed tuned.
Yeah, and speed tune could literally just be going in order.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as that if you want to break it down to it.
Yeah, it's just about using the right skills in the right order. I mean, my hard mode Spider 10 is speed tuned. So, you know, it's the kind of thing that once you master the basics of it, you'll just find ways to utilize it to your advantage over and over again. And it's interesting because I think if it were a manual, like turn-based kind of game where there was no auto battle, I think the idea of speed tuning disappears then, right? Because it's like if you're manualing, you just select the skills in the order that you think is best. And speed tuning, like you could still speed tune a little bit because you could actually select the speeds for the turn order a little bit. But my point is it would be a different game, right? But the fact that we use it as an auto battler really makes speed tuning so much more valuable because you don't get to judge the scenario that's happening. You need to kind of pre-build the best response in, and then run it that way. But like if I were talking about my free-to-play challenge account, I was able to push to dungeon. I was able to push dragon to stage hard mode 8 hard mode. But I had to manual from 5. I had to manual 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I could auto battle 4. But I had to manual 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you're like, that's a lot of progress that you get when you get away from auto battling. And that can be mimicked by speed tuning, right? Like my team wasn't speed tuned.
Yep.
That's why I had to manual it. But if it had been speed tuned, I could have just auto battled up that far. So it saves you time as well. It does make sense to speed tune. It absolutely does. Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah, Armand's is silly good in Doom Tower. Son, say it with your chest. Come on, man.
Oh, chest.
Project a little bit. Use that voice. This is, two of the things I spent probably most of my time doing for like my 20s and 30s was playing sports or coaching sports and then teaching in a classroom. In both cases, you need to be able to project, right? In a loud classroom, you need to be able to cut through the noise, get over the top of, the clamor and bring order, make sure everybody can hear you. And then on the field, you're constantly yelling at teammates or you're talking to players, or whatever, and you need to project. You need to carry 100 yards away. So it's just natural. And I come from loud people. So I'm capable of talking softly, but I don't, very often. Croatians are loud people.
Fourth thing is sun's coming from the cupboard. True.
Sun's not coming from the cupboard. He's crawling up from under the bridge. That's where he's coming from.
Hey. Oh, that might be problematic. Ooh.
Ooh-wee. Oh boy. I'm running out of steam.
This is a potentially unfortunate turn of events.
Yeah, the Iron Twins is when I speed tuned at Iron Twins, just got so much easier. I went from like 5 to 8 minute runs down to 90-second runs. So much better.
No. Oh. That might be a run ender.
Classic Arena team from a single faction.
Do you actually try to build a team from a single faction?
Yeah, I do a team.
What? I just put my Wukong in and run it.
Yeah, but so you shoot for a one-man defense is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I see a one-man defense, great. If I don't see a one-man defense, also great. I'm just running my Wukong down mid. He's a one-man team. It
Nah.
counts for the quest.
Yeah, I like to win that battle.
I don't care that much about a single token.
Yeah, it's not hard for me to put together a winning team from a single faction.
How long does it take, do you think?
To do what?
To put together that team.
Like 10 seconds?
Okay.
All I have to do is select the champions. Like, I know what I'm running. I'm running high elves. You know, so it's like I have Arbiter, and then I just have to throw in 3 champions with Arbiter that make a decent team. So it's usually Shiramani and like Elhain, and then whoever else I feel like. Could be, you know, Apothecary or whatever.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's really easy to do. I also do it for, sometimes I'll do it for Shadowkin, or sometimes I'll do it for Barbarians. Like, it depends. Like, I get bored of using, you know, high elves all the time. So, I mean, you could also, like, I have team slots. I could pre-build them, you know? It's like I could just literally click one button if I wanted to, but this one's actually problematic. I don't know if I'm going to win this one. Pick the wrong team to go up against it.
Classic mistake.
Well, it's here. I'll show it. This is so it's UDK with an ally protector and 2 revivers, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wasn't really looking at it. Like, this is gonna be a pain.
What is going on here?
Because the team I have is like okay, but it's not like speed tuned. It's not built for arena. It's just kind of champions thrown together. And now there's the fear.
Team's falling apart. We're going down swinging.
Yeah, all right, I'm just gonna end this. I don't feel like playing this for 5 minutes just to beat that thing. But I'll just throw my main team in and crush it now. That'll make me feel better. Oh, whoops. Did I really do that?
All right. The Wukong is gone. Put it on auto.
Emek, 2 Painkeepers, Geo, and Cold. Oh, is that for? That's for our Iron Twins. You're saying? Yeah. Yeah, I've got a similar team with Newt.
All right, that's the longest I've ever lasted in Hydra. Oh no.
How'd you do? Did you accidentally hit? Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! No!
No, I didn't accidentally hit anything. I have RSL open. And RSL auto hit it for me.
Oh, that hurts so bad. What did you had? You had like 24 million or something?
Like 45 million?
45 million. No! Oh man. I mean, you played that for an hour. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I feel your pain. I have done that before, by the way. I have absolutely done that before.
RSL did me so dirty.
That is
Brother. All
That
right.
is rough.
And uninstall. No. So, lesson learned, I guess. Make sure you close RSL before you do Hydra, because it will auto rerun. Holy.
That's rough, man. I'm sorry that happened. That's just rough.
It's all good. It was good practice.
I did that before on like 150 million run. And you know, like the damage is one thing, but it's the time, right? It's like, oh, that run was a 55-minute run. And I did it I did it like 30 minutes before reset. So it was like I knew I wasn't getting back to the damage. Do you know what I mean? I was like, there's no way, because it was a 55-minute run, and then I accidentally hit it, and I've got 30 minutes left until reset. So at that point, I just did like a 40 million run and just stopped it, you know, and I was just like, whatever, that's what I get. But it was like, yeah, that was so bad.
I'm gonna let it run on auto and see what it does.
Yeah, see what it does. May as well.
Yep. Man, that is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
The ultimate troll.
Yeah.
Warp stuff.
Darth Malgus, the three Pain Keepers is an older team that you run with like a Helicath. And basically what it does is it allows you to keep block damage up the whole time. And then you have either a Geomancer or like a Cold Heart or somebody as the damage dealer. Usually a Geomancer. Geomancer is the best because what you're basically doing is you use the buffs that you're placing on your team to make the Iron Twins go faster, and then they hit your team more, and that means they get more damage from Geomancer. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it with a regular damage dealer, but that's sort of the Geomancer style of it. But I actually run a 2 Pain Keeper comp with Emic. So Emic is like the third Pain Keeper. He also has the cooldown reduction, right? And so then you don't need the Helicath. He makes you go unkillable, and you can actually bring 2 damage dealers. So I bring Newt and a Cold Heart. Works pretty well.
So just note the suspicions were confirmed.
Rector Draft, no gear. We'll get some gear on her.
No gear. No gear. She doesn't need gear. She'll be fine. She don't need no boots. She don't need nothing.
You're just gonna be stubborn about it? You're just gonna run her with no gear?
I mean, at this point, it kind of feels like they deserve it.
No, just imagine how much better you'll do once you've got her geared.
Yeah.
The question is, why did you take all of her gear off?
I think because Shamil replaced her in my main Brutal team, and the gear just went to other people.
Yeah, but you don't run Rector anywhere now?
I mean, this literally happened just within the last day or so.
Okay.
Like with the free gear removal, I took off all, like, you know, I took gear from everybody and just started at the top. I did my clan boss team, then I did my arena team, and then I did my Hydra team, my brutal Hydra team.
I
took
love
gear
Rector.
from whoever.
I think she's great.
Whoever took it. Yeah, no, I really liked her now that I've used her.
I don't know, Darth Malgus. You should do a YouTube search for that. That team's been covered a lot, so you should be able to find it pretty easily.
Well,
it's nice to have a Crizia, Jonathan Pruitt. Cardiel and a Crizia.
all right, if we're aiming for hard, let's see. We need.
Last night's video did pretty well, huh?
Every video does well, cause we the best. Yeah, it did.
All right. All right. I think that's it. I'm out of gas. I got to go check on the baby. Give my wife a break. So it's fun streaming with you again, man. Been a while.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always a good time. It's a
It is a good
fantastic
time.
time.
Even if most of it's trolling me.
You know, it is what you deserve.
Oh, I don't know about that. If I deserve if I deserve it, it's only because I made the decision to ask you to join me and do this together.
Mhm.
I'm like, all
Mhm.
right, well then
Yeah, you
you got
reap what you sow, my friend.
you
You
gotta
planted those
know
seeds a long time ago.
you gotta know the people you're working with.
10 plus years ago, Colred walked into the wrong League of Legends lobby. He thought he was playing LOL that day. Instead, he got LOL'd.
I took pity on a silver player. Haul this button to gold
Brother,
for
I
like
wasn't even a silver player.
10 years in a row.
I was wood 5. I was running it down mid on bot games. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good old days.
All right. Well,
BK says I'm a Sun fan, so look, I got at least one. All right, that's all
yeah,
I
you
need.
got a lot of fans, man. You got a lot of fans. There's a lot of people who like trolls.
Yeah.
There's a whole troll colony on our channel,
Yeah.
on our Discord.
You thought the barbarians, the horde
Yeah.
of barbarians was growing. The horde of trolls.
The troll horde is growing.
The troll horde grows. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess yeah, you're right. You reap what you sow. Can't complain too much. All right. Yeah. So thanks everybody for hanging out. It was fun. It was good seeing y'all again. We'll be back on Tuesday for our Takeover Tuesday stream. We got videos planned all week. We're back to pretty close to a normal video schedule. Although I'm not available for as many hours every day for like Discord stuff and whatever, answering questions, and comments. I still am trying to read them and get to them and answer as many comments as I can. So keep putting them up. I'll keep getting to them. But yeah, that's it for now. All right, son, do you have anything to say to the nice people before we go?
Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Hi, Bandit.
Bandit says hello.
Have a beautiful rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you soon.